The four adventurers, Amelia Striker Tide, Icki, Zia, and Zod, each find themselves in the Kobold's Keg in the Adventurers Den, sitting around the map at the table, discussing a potentially dangerous but possibly lucrative adventure. The four of you sitting at the table, if you'll please describe your adventures. We'll start with Amelia.
You know to always pick me first, don't you?
Alphabetical.
I know. I should stop being alphabet. I need to find something that's like Z, X.
Zod.
Zod. So we will base it off my bio page and go a combination of woman and beast. Amelia Striker Tide stands at about 5 feet and 11 inches tall and weighing in about 157 pounds. She is quite the lurker with a tri-corner hat. Her long hair looks black, but in the right angle of light, it becomes apparent that it's actually a very dark blue. She has fin-like appendages where her ears would be, and yellow serpent-like eyes and scars across her face. She has a necklace that looks like intertwined barbed wire. She's wearing kind of like a t-shirt with like 3 buttons, kind of all unbuttoned underneath a long coat. She currently actually has her hands in her pockets of said long coat, and since all of you would have seen her before, know that she has claw-like hands, with one of them having a custom gauntlet on her left. She's got some custom pants to, accommodate for her tail, and she's got some nice looking boots of, seen, a little bit of travel. And she is also carrying a dark red broom and a demonic sword on her back. Next.
All right, next up is Icki.
Icki. Okay, I am a humanoid bird-like creature. I have the head of a bird, like a raven. I have feathers that are black like a raven and eyes that are yellow like a raven. I stand about 3.5 feet tall. 3 feet 2 inches tall. I don't look to weigh that much, and I wear these kind of tattered robes and articles of clothing on me that look like they've seen some use. You can't really see if I'm holding much, though, because they're behind the robes. That's it.
All right, next up is Zia.
Zia is an elf from the clan Foresight. Her specialty is archery. She carries around her grandfather's bow that had been passed down for generations. She has blonde hair with like a spiked tiara kind of look. And she has a wolf named Nova who doesn't care to be touched by anyone else besides Zia.
And Zod.
Zod's touching it. Oh, good puppy. I've been handling horses. I know how this works.
Zod would do that just to piss off Zia.
Anyways, Zod, describe your character.
Anyways, Zod is a dark elf that is dressed like an assassin and trained to be an assassin. Yeah.
Amazing.
Alrighty. As the four of you are sitting there around the table with Zod reaching out to Nova, Zod, go ahead and make an animal handling check.
Because the first two worked so well.
You're getting better.
As you kind of reach out to Nova, you see this wolf kind of growl a little bit, and you see the hair on its back start standing up a little bit. Do you continue trying to pet?
No,
Okay.
I just say hello and as friendly as possible.
Okay. All right. As you are sitting around this table discussing, the familiar barkeep, Domat Soul, this very finely dressed gentleman in a very nice black vest with a white undershirt, and he's got these two eyes that are kind of looking off in different directions. He walks up to the table. He says, "Well, hello there. How's it going today?"
Hello there.
Well, hello, sir. Well, hello, sir. How are you doing today?
Well, I'm doing quite well, thanks for asking. I heard you were heading out for an adventure today, eh?
Every business adventure, mate.
What was that?
Heading out for an adventure. I shake my head up and down.
Well, I just want to kill stuff.
Well, lucky for you, that quest you chosen is all about killing stuffs. Supposedly there's some sort of dragon walking around out by Greenfield, picking up their cattle and dropping them on rooftops. That's a pretty weird thing going on over there, eh?
Such a waste of meat.
I know, right? It's got all the farmers down there in a bit of a tussle.
I laugh at that cow, at those cows.
You watch as one of his two eyes kind of starts glaring at you. The other's staring off into space, apparently.
Well, what? Think about it. A cow being put onto a roof.
You
Quite the
know,
predicament.
I gotta say, that is a little bit amusing if it weren't such a threat to life and limb.
Especially since cows can't go downstairs.
Yeah, but they can definitely fall off a roof or through it. I'm not sure which would be worse.
Well, off would be worse because if they fall through, there could be a floor right there for them to.
You know, you bring up an interesting point there. Anyway, if I can be of service to you, any questions you might be having?
Point me in the direction of the dragon.
It's over there in Greenfield. I believe you've been to Barrelford before, right?
Yes, Barrelford.
I shake my head no.
Well,
Look at the map and you're just kind of like, it looks like it should be just here. Kind of pointing at.
Some of you, I believe Zia and Zod, was it? I believe the two of you have been at the Dragon's Lair before, over east of Barrelford. Greenfield is probably somewhere south of there, really southeast of Barrelford, I guess. Not sure which you're going to hit up first, but I'll leave that adventuring to you.
Fantastic.
Anything else I can help you with before you set off on your journey?
Can I get a couple bottles of whiskey?
A couple barrels of whiskey, eh?
Bottles.
Bottles. Okay, yeah, that seems much more reasonable. Got the good stuff or the okay stuff or the stuff that I only get for, getting drunk?
You use your best judgment.
Well, my best judgment says you're a man who cares about taste, but not enough to wreck his wallet. Why don't we go with the middle one, eh?
Sounds good to me.
All right, looking that up, and he kind of walks over to the bar, comes back with 3 bottles, and he says, 3 bottles of our finest Westermore. Looks like that's gonna run you about 36 gold pieces.
I've only got 2 gold, but I could throw in a platinum.
2 gold and a platinum is gonna get you 1 bottle.
At this moment, I rummage through my bags and I pull out 12. I think 12 gold. Might be 2 gold and a platinum.
Looks like the little guy is pitching in for you. Is that what I hear?
He shakes his head and he's just reaching for the bottle.
Oh. Well,
I like this little guy.
how old are you there?
He looks at his hand and starts counting from his pinky. Pinky, middle. Yeah. He holds up one hand. I don't remember how old he is.
Oh.
And then he puts up his other hand with his index finger up, so you would count 6.
Well, little guy, hate to be a bother to you, but I think you need a few more years on your skin or your feathers rather, before we can just start giving this out to you.
A few more years.
He's short, isn't he?
A few more years.
Few more years. He starts counting again on his hand with his fingers one by one. He holds up both hands, all 10 fingers. Few more years.
All right, sir. We'll just start with 1 bottle of whiskey.
Very good, thank you, sir. Very nice sale. I hope you enjoy.
Oh, yeah, I put it on it.
Mr. Dumont, how much for your fine whiskey? A bottle.
Oh, the fine stuff, the Northwood whiskey, named for, of course, the wood taken from the north that it's been soaked in the barrels of. That'll go for, let's see, about 18 gold pieces apiece.
18? I'll take a bottle.
Oh, we got a high roller here tonight, eh? He kind of walks back to the bar. As he comes back, you see this bottle with a very fine label on it that he brings out to you. And he also brings out a much smaller bottle of this kind of blue liquid that he hands over to Icki and says, "Sorry for the trouble. Hope this can be a bit of a, well, enjoy it just the same."
Pop it open and smell it.
It smells like sweet raspberries.
I just drink it.
It's this fizzy blue raspberry soda. It's delicious.
I don't think I got anything for that. He pulls out 5 coins of silver.
Oh, looks like you want some more, eh? Well, you're in luck. There are 4 silvers a pop, and he grabs 4 of them and goes to the back and brings out another.
Okay.
Alrighty, if there's anything else I can do, I'll be over here at the bar.
Thanks. Still have no idea what's up with that guy. How old are you, little one? Kind of looking down at Icki, bro.
He looks at you and squints his eyes, and then holds up all 10 fingers.
10.
10! And shakes his head.
Not 10.
10! Shakes his head up and down.
Oh. Oh. Alright. Is that...
He tries to grab for your bottle of whiskey.
I'm gonna swat his hand. Oh wait, is he going for Amelia's bottle or
Amelia's.
Zod's? Okay, then I do nothing.
I just kind of whisper later.
Magic balance. But
anyway,
All
we should
right.
probably get off and get going. Do we all want to walk together? Or a couple of us scout ahead with our horses.
Oh, I could scout ahead.
Horses?
Yes, horses.
Nova?
No, he's not a horse.
Close enough, everyone. Could be a horse. It looks like you could probably ride it.
How about no?
But no one
All
really
right.
answered the question.
I'm
Do,
sorry, I'm very distracted. Can you hang on just a second? There's something going on in the other room.
Or we can just keep
Not
on
me.
role playing.
Just keep on role playing. Joel doesn't even get a part of this. Right?
Okay, I'm gonna try and reach for your booze again, Matt.
Not now, little one. Maybe tonight, alright?
Oh, damn it!
All
I'll
right,
put
sorry
it
about
away.
that. Okay, I'm back. You asked a question.
My question was kind of role play to everyone else. Do we want to split up and have a couple of us scout with our horses, or should we just all stick together?
Oh,
Stick together. And I shake or nod my head.
yeah. Let's stick together.
All right, then I think I will leave my horse behind, and if no one else has business here, I would recommend we start heading out. It'll probably be a couple days.
Temple of the clock. I hold my finger up and I start walking out towards the potion shop.
Okay. As you arrive at the potion shop, pretty familiar, having spent some time there recently.
I
As you-
instinctively duck.
And as you duck, she says, "Jump!"
Too late now. I ducked.
All right. As she says, as you watch as a potion smashes on the ground, roll a D100 for me. That is a 41. Immediately you smell this kind of pungent smell as a potion smashes on the ground and some fumes start pouring out of it. And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
What? Constitution saving throw. Aha.
Okay. As these fumes start rising up to you into your nose, you just hold your breath immediately. And the fumes are still there. And you start feeling this tingling sensation in your feet and the ends of your wingtips. You don't really have hands, but the kind of fingerish. I guess you got fingers.
You've
Yeah.
got feathers that come off of them, but they're not long enough for flight.
And you kind of feel this tingling sensation in your fingertips and in your toes. And she says, "Oh, sorry about that." You see this familiar human female with glasses, and she's looking at you and says, that might actually help you a little bit. Here, watch, climb over the counter."
I go and do as she says.
And as you do it, you notice it's way easier to climb over it's almost like you instinctively are able to just kind of latch on and just hop over very easily. She says, "Yeah, that should wear off in a couple hours. Anyway, what can I do for you?" "Oh, yeah, the potions. Yes, the potions." And she hands over these 3 potions. She says, "Yeah, 3 is what I was able to make with those feathers that you provided from a bird of prey. Don't know what kind of bird makes that big of feathers, but it's fine. Here's some 1 and 2 and 3.
Fly.
And she hands you these 3 potions that are kind of this This light, almost a golden color, but a little bit lighter.
What should we call these?
They,
Um,
they, they make a potion to make you taller.
She says, "Here, these will polymorph you into a bird of prey. I don't know what kind of bird, though. Be careful."
Mm-hmm. He holds his finger up. Potion!
Yes.
Does that help? And he rummages through his little bag behind his cloak or inside his cloak and finds the little red one. And he's like,
Oh, more healing potions. Yes, we've got some more of those over here. 50 gold for another healing potion. You look over
he'll
and
give you
there's
5 platinum. I will give you
5 platinum, 50 gold. Yep, that works. There's one right there on the shelf behind you. Take it on your way out.
just nods and then leaves, kind of like with a skip in his step.
All right. Cool. Okay, as you head skipping back to the others, anybody else want to do anything in town before you head out?
I would just find a place where I can kind of leave my horse to have someone take care of it.
Fly, fly, fly.
Okay,
Same.
easy enough. Right over next to the Kobold's Keg are a couple stables in town where you can. Housing the horses there is not free, but it's not too expensive. Just by doing various chores and stuff around town, you could probably scrounge up the gold to pay for it.
Okay.
And you guys are now, as you step out into the cool, clear air this morning, there's a little bit of frost on the grass
What month
from
is
the
it?
temperature being so low. What was that?
What month is it?
It is currently late July.
Frost on the grass, late July. Okay.
Correct.
Yeah, I think Greystone actually might be onto something.
Zod turns to Amelia and is like, wasn't it like scorching hot the other day?
Yeah, I know. I think
Yeah.
Greystone actually might be right about something.
Yeah. For once.
But not us being servants, right? Just kind of snickers.
Yeah.
All right. All right. As you head out to the east, who is leading the way for me, or for you?
I would recommend either Zod or Zias, one of you to have been in that direction. You probably know the shortcuts and a good route. Zia, Zod, what's the best way to get there?
Joel, we are currently in Independence, correct?
Correct.
Okay. I say we go towards Nebraska, and then there should be a wall, and then we head south from there. The wall.
Use the wall. Okay, that's all right. Zia does not oppose and does not know a better route. We can
That way
have.
we can find our way back.
All right.
All right.
As you start heading eastward in the cool morning air, so Zod is leading the way.
Yeah, God turns to the rest of the group. Yeah, that's right. I'm in front. And keeps
Just
going.
because Greystone's not accompanying us on this. I will let you have your moment.
All right. As you start heading out, is anybody else doing anything while you're traveling? Keeping watch or foraging or anything like that?
I'll keep watch.
I'll forge.
Amelia?
I mean, I guess I'll kind of help with watch. Just I'm not like the most attentive, but yeah, I guess I'll just kind of.
Fair enough. All right. As you guys are headed out, Zod, roll me a survival check. Zia, a survival check. Amelia and Icki, Each roll a perception check. Actually, no. Icki, roll with advantage.
Okay. Perception.
Not a-
Correct. And Zia, survival check. Hmm.
Kevin.
Yes.
Survival check.
Oh, I didn't hear that part.
Said it like 3
Zia, roll a
times.
survival check. That's all right. Okay. As you guys are headed out along the road, it's not too hard to follow the road and stay on track. As you guys march eastward towards Nebraska for about 10 miles or so, and you come upon this wall, which Amelia and Zod have recently seen, but for Icki, Bra, and Zia, you see the wall is now, this section of the wall is now fully complete, rising up to 70 feet high in places, 50 feet high in other places. Just this large, daunting stone wall that has been constructed. You see the gate has this great archway rising 30 feet in the air with these iron bars currently raised.
We've been
you
here
see-
before.
You've been here before, but it's just the scope of the fully complete version of it. It's just much larger than you had anticipated. You see over by the river, where the wall meets the water, there's still some scaffolding up as if they have future plans to build the wall across the river. Yeah.
Were the horse stables along the wall?
From before, they were inside the wall, probably a good about a mile or so from the wall inside.
So would it be like here or like?
I'm not looking at your map right now.
Then.
They're
guess-
about a mile east of the wall.
West? No, yeah,
am I-
east.
East. The
Okay.
stables where you got the horses the previous adventure, you mean?
Yeah.
Yes. About a mile east of the wall. Okay. So you've reached this juncture. What would you like to do?
Keep going.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow Zia through the gate.
Through the gate?
He said keep
Are we-
going.
No, we don't want to
No,
go.
we're not gonna go through the gate. We're gonna go around the wall and to the south. There should be a
Okay.
path.
Around the
Yeah,
wall?
there is a path that continues southward. As you start following that to the south, you guys continue traveling. Okay.
Is my character like physically like holding like a handheld map, or are we just assuming that he knows?
You do not currently have a handhold map.
I wish we did.
It's what those survival checks for being in the lead are for.
Okay.
So that's your ability to navigate.
So we're going to continue on the path south until we get to the Pharaoh's farm.
Okay. So at this point, it's approaching noon. As you guys continue southward for another 2 hours or so, along the wall, it starts to get to a point where it breaks to the south. And as you continue southward, with that perception check, Ikibra, you don't see them, but actually Amelia, as you guys are traveling along, Amelia, you notice some tracks crossing the path from the east headed westward they appear like large bear tracks with these where the claws have just really dug deep into the soil.
Large bear.
Correct.
Zod, Zia. What about bears? Have either one of you come across bears in this area?
No, not recently. No. That's rather a first.
Hmm. Then I would recommend we have a little bit of caution. Seems like there might be a bear nearby.
I
Yeah,
agree. Shall we proceed with caution?
I'm just
Okay.
saying, keep your eyes out. And when we make camp, we should be cautious.
Okay.
No
So
worries.
are you continuing along at a normal pace or
Slow.
I'd say
slower?
we can try and go what we've been doing. Daytime.
Slow or normal?
Normal.
Fine, normal.
Okay.
normal.
Normal pace. You continue onwards. Keeping a lookout, a little bit on edge, having seen these bear tracks. As you continue southwards, evening comes, and with it, those of you that have been on this path before, you see this butte rising up above the plains with a lone top. Towards the base of it, you see a pond down below. With the sunlight fading on, do you guys continue onward, or do you stop and rest for the night?
What time of the night is it? Is it like really
It's
late?
currently evening. The sun is setting, but you got maybe another hour or two of sunlight. You've been traveling for about 8 hours at this point.
All right. God, thank the rest of the group. Shall we take a break or keep going?
Keep going.
The little guy wants to keep going.
Let's keep going then.
I heard keep going, so we're gonna keep going.
All right, as you guys continue onward, having traveled more than 8 hours in the day, I need everybody to roll a Constitution saving throw.
Here.
I have a chance, but the cold sucks.
I just gotta remember where it was. There it is. Oh, wrong one.
All right. Nope. Yeah, you're right. What's the modifier for your
Does he have
Constitution saves?
Does he have proficiency is the question.
I'll double check. He does not, so it's going to be a 9. All right. As you guys are heading along, Icki, there's a little bit of a bounce to your step as the sun is setting, and you like the darkness. Zod, you also like the darkness and are anticipating its arrival, and you're motivated to continue on. Both Striker and Zia, though, the two of you start to drag behind a little bit. As you guys are heading, you're keeping up, but it's a pretty grueling task. Each of you take a point of exhaustion.
Okay.
And with that, you guys have probably traveled another 3 miles or so past that butte. Would you like to continue pressing onward, or?
I'd like to take a break.
I would be
Keep
fine.
going.
I should have brought the horse, and maybe shouldn't have had what I had to eat last night. I'd be fine if we wanted to make camp for the night.
Yep, I'll like me can.
Okay.
All right, as the three of you start to settle down, Icki, you see the others preparing to make camp.
Icki?
Icki bro?
Chris, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I see them making camp.
Okay, what would you like to do?
I'll go grab some firewood.
Okay, easy enough. You can find some smaller, some dried bushes and stuff from the area. Not a lot of trees in the area. It's
I
pretty
attack
open.
a bush.
And as you launch this bolt at the bush, it immediately bursts into flame.
I hold one of these bigger sticks out to it to get it caught on fire, and then bring the bundle of sticks that I have with me to the group while holding like a makeshift
You guys
torch.
heard this. It sounded like a small explosion, just a very off to the towards where Ikibra had went, and you see this some sort of light just over the hill. As you're watching, you see Ikibara just kind of hopping back with a bundle of firewood and currently a stick that's currently lit.
Before he comes back, Zod just kind of looks off at the flames and goes, hope nothing's happened to him. I mean, I hope he's okay.
All right, as you get sitting down for the night, fire has been built. Are you keeping watches? And if so, what is the order?
I would recommend we each take one.
I'll take second watch.
I'll go first.
So Zod, then Icki,
I'll take third.
Zia, and Striker.
I will go first because God goes ahead of Greystone. Always. Take note of this.
Here.
All right. All right. First watch up, Zod.
Righty. Perception?
It's going to be a perception check.
All
right. So keeping watch, it's a little bit the extra the extra miles that you put in you felt fine during them, but now they're starting to hit. You start nodding off on occasion, but you manage to keep yourself awake and keep watch. Fortunately, nothing happens. Icki, perception check.
Okay. Cool. So, I want to do something unless something happens.
Go ahead.
I want to start looking through Zod's things.
Okay. Trying to not get caught or anything?
Yep.
Make a stealth check for me. 1 second. All right. As Zod, as you were sitting down for sleep, a few minutes goes by as you close your eyes and you're starting to nod off, and then you start feeling a very light rustling behind you.
I'm gonna wake up.
You pop up and you turn and you see Ikibra right there going through your things.
So as I see this going on, I'm gonna grab Ikiba. Are there any trees nearby?
There are not.
He grabs me.
Go ahead and make an athletics check for me.
What?
Athletics check. Ikibra, make either athletics or acrobatics.
Oh.
Ikibra caught completely off by surprise as Zod immediately wakes up and grabs you.
I squawk.
By the arm.
And then I go, "How did they foul beast?" And I'm trying to get at him.
I'm gonna take my rope and I'm gonna tie him to the tree.
All right. So first, Ikibra, as you're trying to escape, go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw, or actually no, that'll be athletics or acrobatics. All right. Zod, go ahead and make an athletics or acrobat. No, this will be an athletics check.
We're doing
Zod.
a contest, right?
Okay, Ikibra, as you just tried to squeeze away and try to go to the side. Zod, you're barely holding on to this bird this bird creature that's currently flailing around in your arms. And Zod, you start to keeping Icki restrained with one arm, you manage to grab out your rope with the other hand and start tying him up. Make a dexterity check for me.
Me?
Yep.
A dexterity check.
Mm-hmm. And Ikibra, make a dexterity saving throw.
Is that in the column on the far left?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, if you just click. Yeah.
Ikibra, he can't quite slip away as he keeps one arm firmly on you as he's carefully tying up this rope and binding your hands.
And as I complete this, I just look at Icki and just laugh, and then walk away.
In this commotion, both Amelia and the two of you both wake up to see Zod currently tying a rope around Ikibra's hands.
Why?
And you hear Zod kind of make this cackle, this.
When the time comes, when the time comes, he pauses. Take him and squeeze. He's just glaring at you, Zod.
Well, as everybody's waking up, I just turn like that's what happens when you go through my stuff.
Maybe he needed something. Who knows? Oh, back to bed.
Yep. I just pulled Nova a bit closer, and I went back to sleep.
I gotta use that net ration though.
And as you guys are starting to turn back over, a light sprinkle starts. Zod, what are you doing at this point?
Are we fully awake at this point, or?
You are currently awake.
You are.
It looks like Amelia and Zia both kind of rolled over, going back to sleep. Icki is currently tied up in front of you.
I'm not gonna do anything else, but I'm just gonna keep watching Icki with a smirk. Right.
Okay. Icki, what are you doing?
Every time that Zod looks away, I'm gonna laugh just like him. Ha 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 ha. Really loud and obnoxiously. If you don't understand it, I'm trying to wake other people up.
And
then as he does this, I'm just gonna go back to sleep as if nothing happened. Yeah.
I'm gonna start making tree whispers as he starts going to sleep. Ha 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 ha.
Amelia and Zia, go ahead and make what would this be? Make a Constitution saving throw, or a Wisdom saving throw, your choice.
What I can actually do better. Not better, just probably.
Zia, you managed to fully ignore all of this that's happening and get a bit of rest. Amelia, it is keeping you up.
I get up, and I will give Icki Bro a shot.
Icki, yes. Watches Amelia stands up and pulls out this bottle of this strange liquid and pours a shot's worth of it.
And now go to bed, little one.
Icki, are you drinking it?
Can I tell where she got it from?
Yeah, you saw her grab the bottle in her bag.
What's it smell like?
Whiskey?
It smells like whiskey. Icki hasn't smelled this before, except for maybe on other people's breath.
Unless you've recognized the bottle from earlier.
It's dark out.
Probably
I'm not
would.
sure if I would.
You probably would.
Okay. Just like, kind of. I'm restrained, so I'm just like squinting my eyes at you sideways and looking at. I look at the I guess the shot glass. I guess you keep a shot glass. Look at the shot glass. Look at you. Shot glass. And I open my mouth a little.
Could I at least give him like a pillow or something so that even though he's tied up, he's still comfortable?
You laid
You already kind of laid down and rolled over. You could get back up and do that, but
Nah. I'll stay asleep.
Amelia, you watch as Icky opens his mouth a little bit.
Oh, I told you I'm giving him a shot.
Icky, you taste this very strong liquid, and not really knowing how to drink whiskey, you just slurp it down like it was water or something, and immediately starts burning the back of your neck. Or the back of
God, Dukes! Don't use fire!
What, I thought you wanted whiskey.
He's never had whiskey before.
You wanted the bottle earlier. No, just be quiet so I can get some rest before my watch. And I'm gonna cap the bottle and put it back away and try to go back to sleep.
All right, Icky.
I'm trying to I'm staring at Zod and whispering at him tree sounds. But other than that, that's all I'm doing tonight until I fall asleep.
Zod, it's a little annoying at first, but eventually the tree whispers start to it's almost rhythmic motion as Icky is inevitably repeating the same whispers.
It's very rhythmic.
And you're able to go back to sleep. Icky, go ahead and make another perception check for me. This one with disadvantage because you are tied up.
And I had a shot that was made for an adult, and
it was enough that it feels a little funky, but you're fine.
I mean, you know how old I actually am and how big I actually am, so.
And with that, your eyes are it's hard to concentrate on any one thing. The back of your throat kind of hurts a little bit and your head feels a little woozy, and you're tied up, so you can't really look around. Fortunately, nothing else happens on your shift.
I can turn my head around, can't I? But I only have maybe 100 degrees of...
Yeah, you can't see everything, so... Next up is Zia.
Okay.
Zia, you wake up and you see Icky still sitting there tied up.
Alright, fine. Grab my knife and cut Icky loose.
Okay, as you cut the rope to cut Icky loose, Icky, going to bed or?
I thought I was asleep.
No,
I'm
not
up.
asleep. Well, as your watch is ending and Zia's watch is starting. Zia cuts you loose.
I'm gonna hold my finger up to my beak and go over to Zod and try to open his bag.
Make a stealth check again.
Not with disadvantage. Hold up. Or is it? Whoa.
As you do this,
that shot helped.
as you do this, Zia, Nova kind of makes this grumble sound a little bit, and you look over to Nova, and you don't even notice Icky pilfering through Zod's bag. Icky, give me 1 second as I pull this up. Going through his bag, you find inside it is a dagger tied to the outside, or not tied to the outside. Next to it is his spear. You see also next to it is his longbow and quiver with a number of arrows inside. You see there's a staff tied to the outside. Inside you see a mess kit, a tinderbox, a bunch of torches, some rations, and you see 1 bottle of whiskey.
Oh boy.
And you also see, hey Robert, what was the trophy from the animal that you had? I don't remember.
I don't actually remember.
Okay,
Wait a second.
then you don't have it.
Zod's
I don't think I had it.
Okay,
Zod
yeah.
has that
So
one.
you don't see a ton of stuff. You do manage to find his coin purse. It's noticeably light.
I will take his tinder box out and
hmm
put it in my pocket, and I will take that bottle of whiskey as well, and
Okay.
I will put one of my extra daggers in there instead.
Okay, interesting. All right. And you're able to do this. Zod and Zia don't suspect a thing. Zod is very much asleep. Zia is very much distracted. With that, Zia, it is now your watch. Go ahead and make a perception check with advantage.
Do you have been a regular one because of exhaustion, or?
You're right. It would be regular. Disadvantage for being exhausted, and advantage for having Nova cancel out. It's a 7. As you're keeping watch, Nova is being a little ornery tonight. It's not unusual for him to be ornery, but tonight in particular, he's a bit restless. And as you're trying to keep watch, he keeps moving around and rustling, and occasionally he'll wander off, and then he'll wander back. Not terribly upset, but it's distracting. Nothing happens on your watch. Amelia, you're up.
Perception check. Let's see if I've done the thing that Eric has
So
done.
this will be with disadvantage.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, it grades out
Alright.
the higher one.
I like it.
As
Let's do that.
as you are keeping watch,
Taking a few
you're
swims.
tired, but you've gotten quite a bit of sleep. And it's as the late night is coming around, it's pretty quiet out here. It's still sprinkling, nothing major. Oddly enough, even though it's sprinkling, it still feels like it's getting warmer.
Because I'm drinking alcohol.
Okay. How much are you drinking? Just curious.
Just like a couple swigs.
Couple
Like-
swigs?
Like, I think we've had this conversation with swigs. Just
Yeah, so we'll say make a Constitution saving throw with advantage because it's not too many.
it'd be interesting if it's just regular. If I still have disadvantage. Did I still have disadvantage because of exhaustion, or?
No, that's for ability checks, not saving
Oh.
throws. All right. You start to get a little tipsy by the end of your shift, but it comes daylight. You start to see some daylight on the horizon off to the east, and with that, everyone is waking up.
Cool.
At this point in the morning, most of your guys' stuff is fairly wet, just from the sprinkling all night. It's not terribly cold out. It's not hot either by any means.
And can I use mending to try and dry my stuff off?
I don't think mending quite works that way. Prestidigitation would be the spell that would do that.
Okay.
Or
Zod is gonna-
water control, or what's that?
I was gonna say Zod's gonna go over is gonna go over to the tree to untie Icki because I guess he doesn't know
Yeah,
Icki.
There's no tree, but as you walk over to Ikebra, you see Ikebra curled up on the ground, and you see your rope next to him, sliced into a couple pieces.
And I wake him up. I was like, I was gonna cut you free.
I would like to light a torch, and I'm gonna use that to help me kind of dry off.
I was gonna cut you free. I just wanted to teach you a lesson to not steal my stuff. or look through my stuff. Sorry, look through.
He just squints at you, definitely not a friendly squint. Says, when the time comes. Then he puts his hands on your rope and uses mending.
Okay.
That should work, Joel.
That does work. It takes a few minutes to mend all of the pieces back together, but you do manage to magically mend his rope back into full.
I hand it to him.
All right. With that, Amelia, as you're trying to use this torch to dry off, it's not really working because it's still sprinkling. It's working to keep you warm, but it's not drying you off.
Yeah,
I
good enough.
go
It's
to
keeping me
Amelia
warm.
and I hold my hand out and start a little firebolt and say, "Can I help?"
You think you can do it?
As Icki does this, there's this little puff right up against the torch.
And he puts his palm out towards you. Does that help? And he uses firebolt on you.
Make an attack roll.
Firebolt.
All right, Amelia, that is a 7 to hit.
False.
All right, as Icki bro like turns his hands towards you, you're like, oh no, and you dodge out of the way immediately. It poofs past you.
Just looking up at you. Did that help?
Maybe I shouldn't have given you that shot.
Oh yeah. Do I have a headache from that? I'm gonna take a drink of
Not
water.
really. Not really a headache. It wasn't quite enough
Do
for
I even
that.
have a water skin? I don't know if I even
You
have
should.
water. That should cost us a ration though for that rest, right?
Yeah. So that rest costs everybody a ration. It costs Zia
Evan.
2 rations. The hunt yesterday was unsuccessful.
I do have a water skin. Cool.
All right. And with that, it is now the sprinkling is starting to pick up. Are you guys continuing onward?
I am.
Same
Yeah.
roles, same people leading, watching, foraging.
Yep.
I want to
All
help
right.
lead.
Okay.
Zod
This
doesn't need help
time,
now that I know what his ability is.
I'm still gonna
No,
help.
it's in that.
See
Zod is
now?
gonna turn. So Zod is gonna turn to Icky and be like, why don't you help me lead? I will teach you the secrets of good navigating.
Good navigating.
Basically, trying to find your navigating is basically getting from point A to point B, making sure you go in the right direction.
Right. As you guys continue along, I just realized Zod does have the Wanderer feature, class, or ability. And with that, you guys are able to follow along the path just fine. Zia, go ahead, roll a survival check with me, with advantage because Nova's helping you. And Amelia, roll a perception check.
I'm not exhausted anymore, I
God
think.
damn.
Oh yeah, the two of you are no longer exhausted.
Doesn't matter.
Once again, Zia, the hunting is not very good. It seems most of the creatures around have kind of stayed in their dens or wherever they're from. Here as the rain is picking up. And as the rain is picking up, Amelia, you like the water, but rain is not your favorite. And it's kind of annoying as you're like trying to figure out, okay, am I supposed to be breathing this or breathing air or what's going on? And it's definitely distracting as you guys are traveling along.
And keep warm with my torch.
Keep warm with the torch throughout the morning. And for a couple hours, it rains fairly steadily, nothing crazy. And as it's kind of approaching noon, you start to see the familiar fields from Pharaoh's farm. You see various vegetables, rows of cabbages and carrots, and you see some corn stalks that have now started growing maybe 3 or 4 feet tall. off on this edges.
Is the corn to the west of us or to the east of us?
There's some on both sides, actually.
Oh,
Some rows of corn off to the west, some rows of corn off to the east. After you get by some of the corn, there's rows of cabbages and carrots and various other vegetables on the ground, and then more fields of corn. And then you see some wheat fields. As you continue on past noon into the afternoon, you start to see up ahead a few farmhouses up there. Let's see. I think all of you have been here either as your characters or as other characters, but you see 4 farmhouses. Current, pretty modest wooden structure. They look like they're in pretty good condition. You don't currently see any people on the fields as you approach up to this intersection near the houses.
All right, and as we get up to the intersection, I turn to Icki. I'm like, we should go to our left from here.
Our left.
Yes.
Dragon?
That dragon.
Point off to the left and start marching.
I go dragon in that way.
All right. Sec. All right. As you guys start heading out towards the east along the road, an hour goes by, another hour goes by. You get past all the field thing, and it's back out into the open plains. At this point, it's probably about mid-afternoon or so. Give me 1 second here.
1 Mississippi.
All right. As you guys, Amelia, you hear this sound behind you. And as you look, turn to look, you see this goblin running away. He's probably about 50 or 60 feet away from you, holding this your bottle of whiskey up in the air and sprinting away with this giant rat right next to him.
How far?
About 60 feet away or so.
60 feet?
Mm-hmm.
Firebolt.
All right, make your attack roll.
All right.
As you hear this squelching sound as the goblin falls to the ground, and you watch as your bottle of booze falls to the ground and shatters on a rock on the road.
I will start running that direction.
All right, as you start running that direction, out in front of you, you see these 2 other goblins with a couple of giant rats, probably about 150 feet away or so, pop their heads up and just turn around and start bolting.
Well, I'm gonna pursue the one that stole my bottle.
All right, as you run up to his body, which is now on the ground, you see this goblin here.
Dead or alive?
Currently, make a medicine check.
Still getting used to the whole new roll system that I'm doing.
Definitely dead. I mean, you watch as his entire back is kind of singed with most of the skin missing as your firebolt hit him right on the back of the spine, killing him.
I will pull out Kari and chop off his head.
As you pull out Kari, he's like, "Oh, the blood is here! The blood is here! They're ready for the blood! It's dead already! It's dead! I can't!" As you slice this goblin's head off, Kari's like, "Oh, that feels good! It could feel better! It could feel better! I want more!"
Would you like holy water to drink?
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Does Zod see this going on?
Yeah, I'd say yes, Zod. With your passive perception, you do see. You saw Amelia fire a firebolt. All of you saw Amelia fire a firebolt to the rear and hit this goblin and start running past, and then pull out the long sword and slice its head off. You can see Amelia talking over there. You're not sure what she's saying.
So I saw the kill happen.
You did.
Okay, so this one I'm gonna turn to Icki and be like, see, like I could have just as easily have done that to you, but instead I was nice and tied you to a tree, or tied you up.
I look at you and say, when the time comes.
Okay.
What does this goblin have?
All right, make an investigation check for me. Looking through his stuff, you do find 4 pieces of gold. You find about 20 silver pieces and 8 coppers.
How many silver?
20.
And 8 copper.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I find. No weapons, no nothing.
I mean, he's got a scimitar that's in pretty bad condition. He's got a bow that looks like it could break at any minute, with a couple of shoddily made arrows.
Let's see. I don't think I have what I was hoping for.
You can deduce that there was definitely a good reason he was resorting to trying to steal things from passerbys.
All right, then I will just take his head. Let that be a warning.
Okay. All right. With that, as you guys, a bit of an interruption there. You continue marching eastward down the road. And as you're marching, the rain starts to rain harder, and then the drops get bigger. And off to the west, you can see some storm clouds starting to roll in. As you're still continuing along to the east, you see these 3 rocks up ahead that are positioned 2 on the right side of the path, 1 on the left. These rocks are pretty big. Maybe they raise about 20 to 30 feet off the ground, depending on them. Pretty big, pretty wide around. And you see a path kind of going off to the south and another path going out to the east, which, Zod, you would remember the east path is the one you took before.
Right. And how quickly did that storm come upon us?
Make a perception check for him. Actually, you don't need to make perception. It's coming up pretty quick. It's not quite to you yet. Like the rain is here so far, but you can start hearing lightning and thunder several miles to the west. That's coming in pretty quick.
Is it at like a normal quick speed, or is it at like an unusually?
Make a nature check for me.
Like it just kind of came out of nowhere.
Make a nature check. It's moving unusually fast. Like you've been here on the new continent for several months now, and you start to get the gist that the wind wouldn't normally carry it that quickly.
So as I see this, I turn to Amelia. I'm like, is it just me, or did this storm come upon us rather quickly?
Like I said, Greystone might actually be onto something.
You know, but at some point we will have to further investigate. But for now, dragons.
Should we get out of this rain first? Let the storm pass.
Get out of this rain.
Is there a place to get out of the rain?
Here, kind of on this little meeting of the 3 paths, where these 3 large rock structures are. If you probably took cover on the east side of one of them, you'd be mostly out of the rain, and you'd at least be out of the wind.
Let's do it.
Okay.
All right. As you sit down behind one of these large rocks and the storm starts coming in, and you start hearing of the lightning and the thunder. One strikes real close. Then you just hear another rumble in the distance. And, the rain is starting to pour down. It's like just starting. The rocks are protecting you from the wind, but the rain itself is just drenching all three of you. And it's just more lightning.
Give me one moment. I want to see something.
Okay.
That wouldn't last long enough. Okay, keep going.
Okay. As you guys are just sitting here getting soaking wet from all of this, so you start feeling this little thumps on your shoulders, and you look around as little bits of hail are currently starting to rain down over you.
I put my hood up and just stare off into the 20 feet ahead at the ground.
Okay.
I look miserable.
How much further is the town, by chance?
Zod and Zia, the two of you would remember, it's probably about another 6 miles or so, 6 or 7 miles.
Right. So,
What was that, Zia?
What?
What did you say?
I said we're pretty much almost there.
So we should have just ran, is what you're telling me?
No. We better find shelter from this rain.
and I don't know. I'm like, I go, oh, hogwash. A little rain never hurt no one.
Hail, not quite rain.
As you guys are kind of shouting this to each other to over the sound of the torrential rainfall and the sound of the hail slamming against the rocks, this bolt of lightning strikes about a half a mile to your south, pretty close. And then another bolt of lightning strikes maybe a quarter mile to your northeast, even louder.
So the lightning is.
What was that?
I was just gonna ask: is there any mythologies in the sailor department that relate to storm?
Make a religion check for me.
Kind of like myth and whatnot. Not necessarily full on religious, but something.
I got you.
You perceive from the 1700s or something like that.
The thing, so you know of a couple rumors. One is the god of the sea. You don't remember the name of whatever this particular god was that tends to swallow ships. But the more familiar one you know of is El Sifa, the supposed god of the tempest, god of storms. And being pretty familiar with storms yourself, you're not sure if you believe in this god or not, but you do recognize the power of storms and the damage they can deal.
All right, who passed off El Sifa?
El Sifa!
Oh
wait, I didn't say that. I'm miserable. I forgot.
I don't know. Well, I've heard of this god. What was his name again?
El Sifa?
Yeah, that one.
The thing I just shouted. Yes.
Yes.
We were both there when Greystone was talking about storms.
Right. Good. So,
did you piss off El Sifa?
So you think this is his doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
As you guys are kind of shouting this back and forth, another lightning bolt strikes maybe a quarter mile to your north.
I couldn't think of anything else to say there.
At this point, the sun is starting to set.
Um, is there anything around that we could use to build a shelter?
Looking around, make a perception check with disadvantage as you're trying to squint through all of the rain and the wind and the hail.
Wow.
Looking around, it's hard to see. It's you start to like look around, and then you get a piece of hail hits you right in the one of your eyes, and it stings, and you're looking around and trying to figure out. You don't see anything.
Icki is gonna look up and then stand up and just start walking down the road and say in a mild tone, "Keep going."
I'm with the little guy. Let's get the hell out of here.
All right,
Start running.
I need each of you to roll a Constitution saving throw for me.
And then as Icki gets up to walk, I go no wait, and I go after him, but I'm like, wait for me.
All right. Zod, go make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Oh.
As you guys are now rushing through the storm here, at a jogging pace, a sustainable pace, but it's gonna make you tired quick. Zod and Zia, the two of you again, it's just really hard to just push through all of this weather, and the storm is just lightning zapping down around you. Icki, you are very motivated to get out of this place, and you just keep going, while Amelia, you are almost energized by the storm itself. Maybe not the rain, you could do without, the hail you could do without, but the storm invigorates you.
I've been on the ship in storms. I know when to get. I know how to handle myself.
Yeah. As you guys continue on for probably about 30 minutes or so, you've gone maybe, I'd say in this weather, about 3 miles or so, as the ground starts to get soggy and muddy and is sloshing beneath your feet. At one point, Zia, you trip and fall over, and then Nova kind of nudges you up and gets you on. And as you guys are going through, I need you to make another Constitution saving throw.
All of us?
Everyone.
Okay, double checking.
And at this point, Zia and Zod have both suffered a point of exhaustion.
I get struck by lightning.
So does that mean their saves are with disadvantage? Or?
No.
Okay.
So skill checks are with disadvantage. Saving throws are not.
Not yet.
Not yet. All right, as you guys continue onward, rushing through at a jogging pace and getting tired, yeah, once again, you start dragging your feet and you start slipping in the mud, and it's just miserable as this thunderstorm is just raging around you. And Amelia, while you're running through, you suddenly start to get these shivers down your back as you realize that, yes, the storm is nice, but this water is cold and freezing, and the hail around you just kind of pounding on your back, and it's starting to bother you. Amelia, you take 2 points of exhaustion. And Zia, you take a second point of exhaustion as well. Zod, as you're kind of pushing through, it dawns on you that, like, the faster you're out of this, the faster you can get warm and rest up and be good. And like that kind of almost inspires you a little bit, and you're almost no longer exhausted from before. It removes a point of exhaustion. Icki, staying the course, just kind of jogging up in front of everyone else, just rushing to get to that next town. This continues on for about another 20 minutes or so, and as you see the town in the distance, the storm starts to lessen up. It stops hailing. There's still some thunder and lightning off to your east now as the storm is starting to pass. The rain is lessening. The wind is dying down a bit as you come into the town of Barrelford. A pretty small town, maybe 200 people or so, maybe a little bit bigger than Independence. And you just see these muddy streets as you walk in. There's a couple buildings off to your right. You see this building in the center of town that looks almost like a chapel, and some more. Most of the town is kind of off to your left.
Is there a tavern, a place to buy a room?
Looking around, you very quickly make out the familiar words of inn off to the left a ways. This two-story building, wood building. It looks like it's got a pretty steep roof, and it's got this sign hanging out over the street that says inn. As you walk in there, soaked to the bone, cold. Amelia is shivering. Zod is doing okay, but he is exhausted.
Is there a fire going?
There's currently, as you walk into the main room, there is a fire blazing.
I rush
right
over
next
to it
to
and
the
just
sofas.
sit next to it and say, "Come to me, my pasty cakes."
As you say that, a voice from behind you says, "Oh, you're so cute, little darling. I just want to run up and hug you." And this, as you look over, this very large woman in this blue dress with a white apron kind of comes up to you and just picks you up and squeezes you very warmly.
Have at me, foul beast! I don't like being picked up.
And
I'm
then
trying to like
kind of
slap
starts
her
scrambling.
and
She's,
try to
"Oh,
get
I'm
out.
sorry. You were just so cute. I had to pick you up. Oh no, just stay in there by the fire. I'll get a blanket." And she starts walking to the back. As the rest of you start to walk in, sopping wet, she looks over her shoulder and says, "Just 1 moment. I'll grab blankets for all of you. Yes, come on in, come on in." And
To the fire.
as you all start sitting down next to the fire, trying to warm yourselves, she comes over with some blankets for each of you and just kind of starts draping them over your shoulders and letting you dry off there.
I'm gonna just pass.
What was that?
Pass it.
Pass out? Is that what you said?
You're casting. I can't hear what you're saying.
Pass out.
You're going to pass out as you just next to the fire just flop over and fall asleep. All right. Anyone else?
I'm gonna fall asleep too.
All right. As the 4 of you there next to the fire, there's a couple of there's a couch and an easy chair there next to it. Sitting there, it's warm. It feels nice. It feels better than before. After some time, the woman comes back and to Icki. She says, "Come now, little one. I've got a room upstairs. You can get warm in there. Worry about the payments later." And anybody else who? And she looks over and sees the others sleeping.
Do I trust her?
You could make an insight check.
Does she seem like she's being nefarious in any way? So yeah, insight check.
Doesn't seem to be.
I'll follow her.
She leads you up to a room and kind of opens the door and hands you a little key. Says, "There now, just hop in bed, ease up for the night. We'll worry about payments later."
Worry about payment later. And I get under the covers. I go to sleep.
What was that, Kevin?
We're making peanut gallery remarks. Disregard.
Oh. All right. As the 4 of you rest up for the night, 3 of you over near the fire, Ikebra cuddled up inside a bed with some nice warm covers.
I definitely took my wet clothes off. Not sleeping in a bed with wet clothes.
Fair enough. Amelia and Zia, the 2 of you each lose 1 of your points of exhaustion, so you still have 1 point of exhaustion.
Yeah, but that's fatal now.
Ikebra and Zod, you 2 are still both good. No points of exhaustion. And you wake up in the morning to the smell of warm bacon.
Ooh.
Ooh. And Zod is the first one up. He smells the bacon. Look over and you see kind kind of back behind the counter of this building, you see the same woman now in a red dress, a dark kind of maroon color. Currently over there on a skillet, and you hear the sounds of bacon on the griddle.
And now we learn
So-
Zod is a vegan. I kid.
That
I
would
kid.
be-
Go on.
That would be funny. But
That would be evil, right?
so Zod still waking up is gonna head towards the counter, like obviously like still waking up and is gonna be like talk to the woman and be like, good morning.
Oh, good morning to you. How you doing? Yeah, take it's just ready. As she kind of slides a couple pieces of bacon onto a plate and scoops some scrambled eggs on it and slides it over to you. Rest up. I know that was some crazy storms last night.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like it. I'm at this point. I'm gonna attempt to reach it into my bag and grab some whiskey. This you know would go really great with this. A bottle of whiskey, and I'm gonna attempt to reach in and
And as you reach in, the bottle is missing.
as I could have sworn I put it right here.
Hmm?
Do I suspect like who it is? Like,
Not with that stealth check.
No, you're not sure when it went missing. Even you don't even remember the last time you took a drink. Maybe just shortly after the kobold's keg. Maybe hard to tell.
So am I allowed to suspect like any characters in particular?
Yeah, I mean you could.
This is me
Yeah.
asking the DM.
Yeah, you could. You don't know who took it. No idea.
All right. So I'm gonna suspect Icki, but I'm not gonna be like forefront with it. I'm just gonna kind of keep it in mind, just kind of keep it to myself, not really.
Okay.
Like just kind of make like a mental note of it.
Mhm.
But I'm not gonna do anything just yet.
At this time, Zia, you start waking up as you were cuddling up with Nova near the fire. You smell fresh bacon.
Ooh.
You're the vegan. Oh. Bought the vegan.
Come on, Nova. Let me get some food.
Do I see them? Do I see them waking up?
Yeah, you do. And as they start walking over to the counter next to you, the woman says, fresh bacon for the morning, and slides a couple pieces onto your plate with some scrambled eggs.
I'm gonna take one of my pieces of bacon and hand it to and offer it to Nova.
And Nova doesn't take it.
Nova is staring very intently at that bacon. Doesn't take it, but is staring at it.
Good boy.
There you go, Nova.
I'm just gonna talk. I'm just gonna set the bacon in front of him and be like, here you go.
He still just stares at it.
Nova's staring at the bacon, looks up at Zia.
And I was like, fine. Hands him a bacon.
As you say fine, like before you even finish saying the word, scoops up.
I'm gonna attempt to pet Nova and just be like, you're welcome.
And Nova growls.
I don't think you have that much control.
Make an animal handling check, Zod. I'll say with advantage for recently offering bacon.
No. Zod.
Zod.
Yeah.
Nova doesn't growl. He kind of takes a step back or so. Doesn't growl. He looks like He's warming up to you a little bit.
Yeah.
So doesn't let you pet him, but is not hostile.
Yeah.
Good.
All right. With that, Amelia is still sleeping. Icki, you wake up in your room.
Do I smell the bacon?
You smell the bacon.
I come downstairs.
As you're kind of skipping down the stairs, she says, the little one's up, and I've got a special plate for you. And she has a couple pieces of bacon on there and this big slab of ham. She says, here you go, little one.
He turns his head sideways, looks at it, looks back up at her. Fresh bread!
Oh, yes, I've got some in the back. It's not the freshest bread, but I've got some for you. She comes back out with a couple slices of bread, and it looks like she spread a little bit of butter on each of them.
I'll eat the bread first. Very, very enthusiastic. Nom, 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 nom. But the bacon, I will try a little bit. Like, I can't really chew it. So I just like rip a piece off and kind of just swallow it.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. And she comes over with a fork and knife and starts cutting it all up for you into little bits.
Wow.
I don't know. I guess I'll start nibbling on it. Not sure. I don't think I've had bacon before.
All right. And with that, Amelia, you're still sleeping.
Okay. Passed out.
So, what would the other three of you like to do at this point?
Is there a store in town where like I could buy like fake like snakes and spiders to use as pranks later?
You know what? Make an investigation check for me.
There is if you get a natural 20.
Not necessarily, but
No, never mind.
as you step out of the inn out onto the streets are still pretty muddy. You still have the scent of fresh rain, but the rain has stopped. Looking out, there's some light clouds on the distance off to the east, presumably from the storm the previous night. It feels good out here. It feels nice. Looking throughout the town, taking a stroll, you get the sense that this town has recently been through some rough times. Just by looking at the faces of the people around you, you don't happen to see anything in particular that jumps out at you in terms of pranks or anything shady.
Ah, okay. So, do I notice that the people are I guess melancholy or
A little bit, yeah.
Should I? So I'm gonna attempt to walk up to someone and be like, "Hey, what's going on? Y'all don't seem too happy at all."
The man he walked up to some pretty modest farmer. He says, "Yeah, well, would you be happy if somebody came along and took all your cattle and killed it or ate it or whatever they did with it? All your cattle were gone. Would you be happy?"
No, sir. I would not. Is it a sir or a ma'am?
It's a sir. Yeah.
No, sir. I definitely would not.
That's what I thought. I'm out 14 head of cattle.
That's a
But
lot.
life moves on.
Yeah.
Holy
Do
shit.
you have any idea what would have happened to them?
Do I have any idea what happened? The damn kobolds took most of them. Then some adventurers came out here and killed the kobolds. The dragon came back and killed the cattle. Well, most of them. Half of them he carried off. I don't know what he did, but we hear they're dropping cattle over at Greenfield. Couldn't tell you why.
Okay. It just clicked in my head. I just remembered that session and that adventure. Okay, I remember what happened there. Okay.
Yeah, he remembers.
All right. Back in the inn, Zia and Icki finishing.
I have a few scraps of bacon that I just try to. Scoop them off my plate onto the ground, kind of towards Nova, but I'm trying to do it discreetly.
Wild hand.
Nova is staring at them intently on the ground.
Go ahead, Nova.
Just gulps them up immediately.
You would like to speak about? Here you go.
I like the very reluctant. Go ahead, you can have it.
Nova's looking pretty happy with this current arrangement.
I'm going to put 1 piece of gold on the counter and leave.
Oh, thank you, little one. That's more than enough.
I want to rephrase that. I want to sneak 1 piece of gold on the table and leave.
Sorry. Okay. Make a sleight of hand check for me. You able to kind of slide the coin up underneath one of the plates and push it across the counter.
Okay.
She says, "Oh, thank you, dear." And she comes and picks up the plate and brings it over to the sink in the back.
Okay. And then I go outside. What's the weather like outside right now?
It's pretty cool. It's crisp. The smell of the smell of fresh rain is in the air, but it's not raining. The sky immediately above you is clear. There's clouds off in the distance as the sun is rising, maybe half an hour above the horizon.
Do I see any birds flying around?
Make a perception check.
Perception check.
Not right now. You don't see any, currently.
I had a plan. Okay. I'll go back inside and just hang out with the rest.
Zia?
I
As
guess
you
I'm
finished up your meal, Zod has walked off. Icki went outside, but came back in a minute or two later.
I'll put some gold piece down and say a
And what was that?
Drew Nova.
Okay. Right there inside the inn?
Yep.
Okay. As you start combing out the hairs on Nova, and just all of this wet, soppy dog hair. Most of it's dried at this point, but it smells like wet dog still. Start combing it off the counter. The woman comes over and says, I'm sorry, dear, but do you mind doing that outside? I'd rather not have this place covered in all the hairs, you know?
That's fine.
It's fresh.
Look out for ticks! Says
All
your
right.
inner conscious.
All right, you take it outside and continue grooming. Zod, what are you doing at this point? Looked around, didn't find any shops as you're kind of.
I'm just gonna continue to walk around the town, not just kind of looking around, just seeing what's around.
Okay.
Just kind of going for a stroll, you know.
Yeah, there's not a lot. You notice there's quite a few shops that are currently closed. Looks like they're boarded up, like no longer business. There's several houses and stuff that look a little bit run down from the weather. You see, you notice the sheriff's office from before, as well as the town hall. Yeah.
Oh, that shit. Okay, yep. It's all coming back to me now.
Okay.
But yeah. So Zod does recognize the things in the town.
Amelia, go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
That's concerning.
Okay.
That's 2, Matt.
All right. Zia, you're up. What are you doing at this point? So you finished grooming up Nova. Icki, you're there as well, I believe.
What?
And Icki is there as well. What are you doing, Zia?
I'm about to head out and wander around the town.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'm gonna pass out.
Oh, it's fine. What I'm going to do doesn't need Matt to be awake or present.
Okay. What are you going to do?
Oh, I'm gonna go. He's laying down on the ground, right?
She's currently laying on like the big easy chair next to the fireplace. Well, the fire's still going, just not quite as hot as it was the night before.
I'm gonna walk over to her and just like somberly pat her head. Say,
As
he
you
was a brave, brave lad.
okay, as you walk over and pat her on the head, something doesn't feel right. Matt, are you there? Matt, you needed to be here.
I didn't
What
think
you
he'd
thought
need to be
happened
here.
didn't happen. Okay, that's fine. We'll continue anyway. As you're patting her on the head, something doesn't feel right. Your hand feels a little bit sticky. And as you look down, it looks as if her entire face has kind of formed into this little bit of a chrysalid, almost shell that's kind of sticky and crunchy. And as you keep looking, it looks like her clothes have also kind of formed into this almost chrysalid type shell.
Oh, it's happening again?
It's happening again.
Ah, all I did was go to the bathroom.
Yeah, she's currently unconscious. Not bleeding out or anything, just unconscious, asleep. What do you do, Icki?
I squawk, kind of like a bird, and try to like look around for the innkeeper.
You can hear water running in the back, and it appears the innkeeper's back there washing dishes or something.
Gonna yell out loud, "Ah, damn it! Ah, damn it!"
Zia, from out front, you hear Icki that from within the inn.
Oh boy. I rush back to the inn. See what's
You
going
walk back in and you see Icki standing there looking very bothered currently.
Agitated and pointing at Amelia, and when I see that you've come in, such a waste of meat! Such a waste of meat!
Pointing at Amelia.
And
Does Zod hear this going on?
Zod, you're not quite back yet. You're still checking
Okay.
out the town. But Zia, looking over, you see Amelia. Currently, it looks like her body is kind of encased in her body, and her clothes are almost encased in this like sticky, semi-transparent shell.
on. Oh, what is going on?
Not the way I expected. I'm gonna die.
As this is happening, Amelia, you open your eyes, and it feels really crusty, and everything looks blurry.
Would I have an insight of knowing, like, I've been through this before?
It does feel familiar.
And I will try to break free again.
All right, make a strength saving throw for me.
You know, if I roll a third, I get points, right?
Not how that works.
3 strikes and I'm dead? I mean...
1 second as I look at this.
Oh wow.
So does this make his like chrysalis body move?
All right. As you Icki, you look at Amelia. She starts to motion back and forth. It looks trying to struggle from the inside.
Pull out my dagger and I go, "Have at thee, foul beast!" Like holding my dagger, pointing out at her. I have no fucking clue what's going on.
All right, what are you doing? Yeah, you see Amelia kind of like rocking back and forth in this crusty, transparent shell.
I don't know what to do.
You have no clue what's going on here.
Amelia? Insight, please?
How well can I hear?
You can hear their voices, and it seems very like muffled almost. You can't understand what they're saying, but their voices are very muffled.
Okay, so I know they're saying things, I just don't know what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna.
I guess I grab one of my arrows, try to see if I can chip the whatever that thing is.
Okay, go ahead and make a dexterity check plus your proficiency bonus.
Far left. And it'll probably be what, +2?
Yeah.
Probably plus your level 4, right? Okay, so that's a 16. As you level 3. Okay, as you start chipping away at it, it slowly you hear this cracking sound, and it kind of starts cracks and peels off with this kind of sticky goop right on her arm. And as you kind of peel it back, you can see there's some fresh, brand new skin underneath it currently.
Are there any tattoos?
On my arm? No.
No.
I will still do what I can to try to get out of this. So.
Okay, Emil, go ahead and make another strength save.
Yeah. Depending on how this rolls.
All right, and actually, I'll say make it with advantage because he is now helping you.
Yep, that means I'll just roll it again.
Sure.
Because you would say that because of.
All right. As you're flexing like all of the muscles you can, and you start to break out of it, and you start peeling different layer after layer of it off, and it's disgusting and gooey, and it's still kind of crunchy though. But as you start peeling it off, your clothes flake off with it.
Yeah, that's what happened the first time. So.
And then it's a familiar but still equally uncomfortable experience.
And I am holding my dagger pointed at you.
Just kind of, I guess, probably on the ground, kind of like on my knees and hands, just kind of.
You were in a chair, apparently.
Rolling off the side.
You know.
Onto the ground.
All that muscle and effort. I don't know how much air I had. To be honest.
Other than that, you seem perfectly fine now.
Catching my breath.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of looking at it and going, again? Hell. And I will do what I can to try to. I'm trying to think what all comes with me. I'm going to make sure I can at least grab the necklace, my lucky charm, and my gauntlet. Make sure.
Okay.
As soon as he moves, I jump back with my dagger still pointed at her.
Oh, don't worry, little one. It's still me.
Okay. What the heck was that?
What the heck was that?
Not quite sure. It's probably just a side effect of the hell.
Does that happen often?
Twice now. The second time that's happened. Still not. I still would not recommend it.
Something tells me we need to find someone who can tell us what's going on with.
Who knows? Not sure if it's because of what I am, Or if I seriously just went through hell. Anyways.
Amelia, as you're looking around, you do find the necklace and the symbol currently within the old shell. You're able to kind of pry them out. They're still gooey and goopy. It would take quite a probably 5 or 6 hours to clean those off properly. You find your gauntlet. Same thing. It'd probably take you about 3 or 4 hours to clean all of the goop out of it. It'd take you some time. But you do find them. All of your other equipment was with your pack, wasn't on your person, is perfectly fine. Your
We'll just say it's
boots,
like on the ground next to it or something.
yeah, your boots are similar to the gauntlet. There's a lot of goop and crustiness on the insides of them. They could potentially be salvaged, but it'd take a lot of cleaning. Your hat actually seems to be just fine. Apparently, it had fallen off of your head as you were sleeping.
I'm fine with that. Be like,
And the overcoat as well, I'd say, because I'm guessing you would have taken it off just for it to dry.
okay, that means I can at least wear my overcoat, and I'm gonna just start on the gauntlet because that's something I need to use.
All right, as you start cleaning it out, and there's just this sloshing sound as you scoop the goop out. With that, Zod, you walk back into the inn and see Zia and Icki looking quite bothered, with Amelia there on the bench scooping this goop out over top of this apparent shell of what looks like Amelia's old clothes. She's currently wearing her overcoat and doesn't appear to be wearing much else, from what you can tell.
As I see this and I walk in, I'm like, I just go, rub some dirt on it. You'll be okay.
I'm trying to clean it. I'm trying to clean it, not make it look more dirty, dumbass.
Okay. So, are you guys staying there while you clean it out, Amelia?
I'm ready to get going.
Well, I'm not going anywhere until I clean at least that. So.
Fine, I'll stay, help clean.
Okay. I would say, with
You know, you could go get me some clothes.
True. Alright, off to the market.
Can you go find me some clothes, please? Yeah.
Okay.
And make sure the pants can fit my tail.
Well, I'll be back momentarily.
all right, Zia walks off to go find some clothes. Zia, make an investigation check for me.
Oh, this is gonna fail, I know it.
Gonna be worse than 2 natural ones at this point.
You are actually able to find a tailor within town who has a fair selection of gear. You're able to find some clothes that are similar to what Amelia had before. Not quite the same. You're not sure if they'll fit perfectly. Nothing seems to be made to fit a tail.
Get her a bunny suit.
You don't see a bunny suit, unfortunately.
Not that type of tail. It's a lot longer.
Hey, Joel,
Yes, Chris.
what does the chair look like that he was
Uh,
crystallized with on top
The
of?
chair looks pretty much fine. You know, there's a couple places where maybe the skin was touching it that there's some goop, crusty goop on. Other than that, I mean, it's messy now as the goop is being scooped out near it and around it and everything.
I'm gonna try and sneak out of the inn now.
Okay.
Seeing this mess.
Easy enough to do as they are very focused on cleaning this out.
Where'd Zia go?
Make a perception check for me.
Mr. Critter. Investigation? Perception?
Perception.
Perception.
As you step out looking around, Zia had stepped out several minutes before. You catch a glimpse of her down a ways down the street, heading into a shop.
I'm gonna try and catch up to her.
You do easily enough. You find Zia in there currently looking at some various clothes for Amelia.
Oh, shoot. Can I take a break actually?
No. We'll go ahead and get started. So, Zia, you managed to find a set of new clothes that are nice enough. Might fit, might be a little big, you're not sure. You don't find any that fit a tail. But you do find some clothes that you could probably buy a set for about 2 gold.
Okay.
Alright.
And as you head back, Icki is just kind of following you around, eyeing your wolf suspiciously, but generally being friendly to you. Cautious, but friendly. As you head back in, Zod, what were you doing this time?
What were you doing? I just it just
So you
came
come
back.
you saw Amelia scooping goop out of her gauntlet. You see this almost shell of her former skin and clothes laying on the floor in front of her. You see this, the woman, the innkeeper, just sitting at the counter with a drink, looking very concerned.
I walked in and told her to put some dirt on it.
You walked in and said, put some dirt on it. She snarked back at you. What are you doing at this point?
At this point, I'm actually going to go over to the counter and actually pay for my meal because I actually forgot to do that.
The innkeeper nods at you and then takes another swig. And she is freaked the F out right now.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be freaked out. I mean, I'd be freaked out too if I wasn't like the way that I am right.
She looks at you and says, "You're here to that." She pours a drink for you and takes another.
And as we're about to take a drink, I go cheers. I'll drink to that.
Cheers. Ching.
Good.
Okay. At this point, Zia and Icki come back. Zia brings in the clothes to you, Amelia.
I'll just kind of put them on, kind of next to me. I'm gonna clean this gauntlet. Distractions aren't.
So total, I'd say it takes you probably about 4 hours or so to finish cleaning that up. So by the time you're done with it, it's maybe a little bit. It's around noon, maybe a little after.
All right. Finally get it that clean. I'm gonna put on my new clothes and I guess try them.
Okay.
See if they can fit.
You try them. They're a little big, a little baggy. They're comfortable, except for the tail. There's no hole for the tail.
I'd make one.
Cut through with a dagger easy enough and make a sloppy but workable tail slot. And with your overcoat on, it covers it up well enough.
I have no shoes. To recover the shoes or not to recover the shoes? That is the question.
Yeah, she brought back some boots for you. Sia took notice of the size and brought them back and got you some new boots. They're not as nice as the boots you had before, but they're serviceable.
All right. Thanks, Zia. How much do I owe you?
Don't worry about it.
Sure.
Yep.
All right. Well, I've pretty much just slept through the night, cleaned the last 4 hours. I'm hungry.
And as you look over at the innkeeper, she just shakes her head and says, she just shakes her head, takes another swig.
You have nothing left?
Sure, but I'm not making it for you. You made a mess of my place.
I could make it more messy if you want.
She kind of has no expression on her face, and then just takes another swig.
Let's go to the tavern now.
Make a persuasion check for me with disadvantage, Amelia. Or intimidation. This would be intimidation with disadvantage. Yeah. The innkeeper does not seem pleased.
Let's just head to the tavern down the street.
There's another tavern somewhere?
Oh, is it? Oh.
Wrong world.
Okay, I am back.
Icki, the only thing you missed was you followed Z around. She got clothes for Amelia. You handed them off. You guys are headed out, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So, is
Sorry
there another
about that.
tavern in the city, Zia? Since you were apparently the one that went out.
Joel, there is another tavern in the city, right?
Another tavern, you said? Yeah, you were able to find some, and you guys are able to get some meals there, in addition to the morning meals you had, if you'd like, for 4 silver.
Oh, I'm
Okay,
gonna save my money now.
Fine. You're probably just racist anyways, and I will go outside and try to find the other tavern. Too.
Let's go.
I'm guessing they're getting refused service at the first one?
Yep. I am. Because of the mess.
Okay.
The mess I made, she's refusing service to me, so I've now called her racist. And
All right, you guys head out, get meals for the morning, those of you that choose to get them. And at this point, it is early afternoon. What would you like?
Continue on.
Continue going east.
Alright,
Okay.
seems like these two know where they're going.
As you guys cross this bridge that appears to be made out of various barrels strung together. What's that?
I would have heard the town name before, right?
Barrelford. Yes.
No, the other one.
Greenfield.
Yes.
On the quest board, yes.
Um,
And hearing people talk about it.
Before we
quest.
leave town, I wanted to do this, but then stomach. I wanted to go just find someone who looks like they're from around here.
Well, you can tell most of the people here look like they're from around here.
Good. That's a good thing.
You're able to approach a man who looks like a farmer. Probably
Unless
headed
somebody
out to
already did
fields.
this. Did anybody ask where Greenfield is?
I was busy. I'm under the assumption people.
So,
I've
no,
already
that's a
asked
no.
Johnny. So,
Yeah, I'll say you could do this while they were cleaning out Amelia's gauntlet.
Okay, let's see. Is there any guards?
Looking around, yeah, you see some guards here and there. Seems that they do have some of the gold cloaks, more of the Crown's Guard here in the city, or the
I'll walk up to a guard and turn my
Well,
head.
hi there, little one. What can I do for you?
I'll cock my head sideways and Greenfield?
Greenfield. Yeah, you head across the ford and the path will split. You take the southeast split into Greenfield, and yeah, the path will take you just there. It's what, probably, what do you think, Philip? Day and a half? Yeah, day and a half seems about right. Yep, day and a half down the road.
And I point westward and say, day and a half, Greenfield. Westward, keep in mind.
Okay.
Saying it to them.
Well, let's keep moving.
All right, where are you guys moving?
Wherever Greenfield is.
Which way are you moving?
Was it westward? East?
Currently, Icki is pointing west.
Let's go west.
Back the way we came.
Oh.
Wait, did we pass it?
Wait, now I'm
Whatever.
really confused.
I'm gonna gesture towards Zia and point to the east and just tell her, tells you go that way, and points to the east.
What would you guys like to do?
I'll go up to the guard, or I'm still in front of the guard, and I'll say, and I'll hold my hands, point east and west, say, Greenfield, and turn my head sideways. Cock my head
He
sideways.
points off to your east.
Okay. And I'm going to start walking east.
As you're headed that way, you see the river flowing along through here. Its banks lined with some larger trees, various oaks and larches and various trees in this region. And you see this ford here. It's more of a bridge, a pontoon bridge made out of various barrels strung together with ropes, with various wooden planks strapped on top of them. The bridge is about 10 feet wide or so, goes across the river maybe 50 to 60 feet or so. As you guys head across this bridge, it's waving a little bit back and forth in the river current, but it's pretty mellow here, and you guys managed to get across without a problem. And there's parts of it that look like they've recently been repaired and made more sturdy than before. And you go across the road, and after a couple minutes walking, the path kind of splits. There's a split that goes off to the left and one that goes off to the right.
How far
So one
is
path
this?
kind of goes
This is past the
northeast,
river,
one goes
so-
southeast. Past the river, very far, maybe a couple minutes,
A mile? Less than a mile?
less
Yeah.
than a mile, definitely.
Cool.
Well,
Alright. I assume you guys know what way we go from here. Way is
Zod?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Zod, you've never been to Greenfield, neither have you, Zia, but you do know the Creator Shrine, the place where you killed all the kobolds before, was due east. You remember on the quest board it said that Greenfield was southeast of Barrelford.
Let's head east
Oh.
then. To Belford.
Oh.
All right.
So, do we? I guess we start heading southeast.
Wait, what?
yes. Let's do it. Let's just go southeast.
Okay. So there's currently a path headed southeast, or you could trek across the glens east. Sounds like they're going. You guys are going southeast. Is that correct?
Well,
Yeah.
What were you saying, Zia?
Oh, sorry.
Zia, what were you saying?
I said, well, looks like everyone's going southeast, so let's head southeast.
All right. Are you guys using the same before? Zod leading the way with Zod and Icki leading the way with Amelia on watch, Zia foraging.
I'll be on
Sure.
watch.
I say Zia goes first.
You want me to lead?
Go.
Okay.
Arch. Okay, now.
Worst person to do that, but okay.
All right. Zia, as you're moving along, go ahead and make a survival check for me. Icki, make a perception check with advantage because Amelia is helping.
You're not the worst. You have a +4 to that bullshit.
Amelia, perception. Excuse me, Icki, perception. That's what I meant. Yeah, cool. As you guys are headed along, it's not too hard to follow this path. You keep the party moving along. As you guys are headed along, you're traveling outside of town for maybe an hour or so, going 3 or 4 miles. And you start, it's still plains, but off in the distance, you can see some rolling hills off to your east. As you continue down the path for probably another hour or so, it's now approaching late afternoon or so. You've only been traveling for about 2 hours, though, so it's not too bad. You continue traveling along. It's now evening. As another hour passes, you've traveled maybe 9 miles or so, and as you're coming up here, you see some more soft rolling hills of grass to your east, and to your south, you see some white, what appears at first to be snow-covered trees from this distance, but as you guys get closer, you start to realize that these are not snow-covered trees; they're just white trees. This is Icki, it's catching your attention in particular, these white trees. The party, you come across another split in the road. One continues on further southeast, the other goes due south.
Is this before the hills?
Before the hills. Looks like a path goes southeast into the hills, the other path goes south into the forest.
Okay.
Both the hills and the forest at this point are probably maybe 1.5 miles, 2 miles out.
So one goes due south, one goes southeast. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Both of these paths are not well traveled. It's basically just a couple double track ruts on the ground from wagons passing by and travelers walking. Which way would you like to go?
That one looks like it's traveled more.
Looks like they're both traveled about the same. It seems, maybe half the travelers go southeast, half of them go south.
I go south.
Icki starts walking to the south. Do you guys follow?
I kind of do a shrug and follow.
Might as well.
What did you say, Zia?
Might as well follow.
Okay. As you guys start following the path southwards.
You guys are following a 3-foot tall bird person. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah,
Switch over this.
like I said, I was busy cleaning. I figured you guys had this planned out.
As you guys travel south for another mile or two, it takes you half an hour or so, maybe a little more. You start to approach this forest of these white trees. They look almost like birch trees, except that the bases of them are much wider, maybe 1.5 feet, 2 feet around or so.
They to our east or to
diameter.
Our west?
You're currently walking into this grove to your south.
Oh, okay.
Of white trees. As you start to walk into this forest, it feels chillier in here than normal. It's not a cold chill, it's just kind of an uneasy chill. It's almost pretty an ominous forest. You see these white trees with these tall splitting trunks that split into smaller branches, and it's almost like a chalk white type color with little bits of kind of this charcoal black markings, stripes every so often up these trees. At the end of these kind of chalk white branches, you see these small leaves that are Each of these leaves is maybe half an inch by half an inch or so, almost oval shaped. And at the end of the very tips of some of these leaves, as you look a little closer, Ikibra, you see there's just a little bit of red at kind of the tips of the leaves. It's got a very spooky sense as you guys are walking in, particularly here as the sun is starting to set. What would you like to do? Continue onwards or make camp? Or at this point, you guys have been traveling for not too long, about 3.5, 4 hours.
The
We
trail
really
still
don't-
looks fairly well traveled.
I wouldn't say well traveled. It still looks as if it has been traveled a bit. Again, it's not heavy traffic out here. Neither path looked like a heavy traffic.
Would it be possible to investigate these trees a little bit more?
Okay, what would you like to do to investigate it?
The bad way. Touch. Just kind of cautiously kind of touch and maybe grab both.
Make an investigation check. As you reach out and you touch one of these trees, it's cold to the touch a little bit. It's kind of leaves this almost chalky residue on your fingertips. It's a stark contrast from the sticky, gooey crunchiness had earlier today.
Huh. Armies to the south were... No, they were supposed to be fire. Not ice. Ice is north. Well, is this the right way? Kind of looking at the rest of the party.
I'm gonna rummage through my bag and pull out one of those potions of polymorph,
Okay.
and I'm gonna drink it.
Amelia, as you're kind of inspecting this bit of chalkiness in your fingers and you smell it, it smells like almost like a bitter syrupy smell. You look over and you see Ikibra down a potion and then start to grow. You watch as Icky's wings start to spread wide. Icky's little fingers start to retch backwards and wings spread out. Maybe 20 feet wide. And you watch as both of Ikibra's legs suddenly grow into the... Ikibra is now standing maybe 6 or 7 feet tall. Ikibra's torso grows into this dark black with this white stomach, and Ikibra's head transforms. Zia, Ikibra now looks like a miniature version of the ginormous bird you had seen on the trip on the boat to the island.
Oh, crud.
Currently, Ikibra, you're standing about 9 feet tall or so. Your wings outstretch
Am I
20
growing
feet.
still?
In each direction. You stopped growing.
Okay. I'm gonna
But you are currently a young rock.
I'm gonna fly up.
As this, you all feel the wind of this, of Ikki, this bird in front of you, flapping its wings, soaring up into the air. Ikibra, from these heights, as you grow higher and higher, flapping your wings, you can, from this vantage point, see some rolling hills off to your east. You see the Great Plains off to your north and your northwest. This forest stretches out for miles to your south. Just white trees kind of over some rolling hills. You can see a valley kind of to your southwest. And as you soar higher and higher, you see the telltale signs of some smoke off to the south. Pretty far off, several miles.
Beyond the trees.
It's still within the forest. Several miles to the south. Within this forest, there's some smoke rising.
Do I remember how long this potion lasted the first time?
Make a history check.
Okay. Check. Oh,
That's gonna be a 9.
yeah.
Not an
I
11.
forgot to do that.
Hard to say. 45 minutes, 2 hours. You were kind of distracted by then, just by how good it felt.
I'm going to fly southward above the treetops, keeping to
Okay.
the road.
Okay. The rest of the party, as you see Icki transform into this great, enormous bird and fly off to the south. What are you doing?
So as this happens, Zod is just is watches this, and he's actually kind of impressed, and so as he's doing this, he just goes, "Huh, cool."
Okay.
Shall we wait here for him to scout, or should we just follow?
Like he's as like he's impressed and like wasn't like expecting that to happen.
Okay.
Oh.
Zia,
I was gonna say I'd rather set up camp.
gonna start setting up camp. Okay. Yeah. So right here at the, are you gonna do it like at the edge of the woods, in the plains, or inside the woods?
On the edge of the woods.
Okay. You start setting up camp. Icki, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Okay. Yeah.
As you're flying around, it feels wonderful out here. You feel the breeze against your face. It's just marvelous to be flying, and this new form, you can fly incredibly fast. Just zooming by miles in just minutes. As you head south towards that smoke, you can occasionally see the path in the forest below you. As you approach the smoke, you see it's actually coming from a number of chimneys of a small town. You see maybe 10 to 12 buildings or so. Again, not looking too closely as you're just kind of soaring around. So once you get to that village, where are you going?
Do I see any cows?
You don't. You're too caught up in the moment.
I want to look for cows or sheep.
Okay. As you start to pause and you look down at the ground for cows or sheep, roll. I just remembered this creature does perception checks with advantage. So go ahead, roll one more perception check because it's technically with advantage.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Looking down, you see a pen, not of cows or sheep, but you do see a pen of some pigs near one of the houses. Your eyesight is strangely a lot sharper than it normally is. And as you're looking down, looking through, you see a farmer kind of currently feeding those pigs here in the twilight hours. You see in one of the other buildings, there's several lights on from the windows. You see a pasture in the back with a barn. Can't see anything. Can't see what's in the barn. It's all kind of nestled here within a very small valley here within this white forest.
Oh, it's within the White Forest. Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to... How far away would you say the town is from me?
How high did you fly?
I'm above the treetops.
Like just above them or like way above them?
Just above them.
Okay. Yeah, you're circling around the town, not too high, just past rooftops and trees.
Do I see any guards in the town?
You don't. Yeah, there could be some there. You just don't see any.
I'm gonna take a quick dash over the town. Look for guards.
As you sweep past, you notice the farmer you saw earlier kind of looks up curiously, like, "What was that? What?" But zooming at the speed that you now have, it would be hard for anything to, especially in this lighting, to see exactly what you are.
It's getting dark out, you say?
It's getting dark. The sun has at this point has gone down, but there's still a fair amount of light.
I'm gonna try and grab one of the pigs.
As you swoop down towards this farmer, go ahead and make an athletics check. Hold on, I gotta see
What's
your
my
stats
modifier
here for a
now?
second. Yeah, I gotta pull this up.
Should I be adding those modifiers for my perception?
Technically, yes. Your perception modifier will be a +4. Your strength modifier will not be that because you're not that big yet.
20.
It is not a +9.
Oh god, that's a freaking 2829. Oh gosh, that thing is death on that island.
It is.
I can't find my pen
It'll be
right
a
now.
+3. We'll call it a +3.
Wait, is that it? Oh, that's
So athletics check, just roll a d20 +3.
It is not a +9. That means it has a strength 28 or.
All right, as you swoop down, this farmer starts screaming out, "Attack! There's a giant! What is it?" And he takes off running as you swoop
Can I
in and
still
grab one of the
mimic
pigs.
sounds?
You can.
I'm gonna mimic the sound of the thunder from the other night. But like it's right
not as
there.
loud.
I want to mimic
It's
as
not
if...
as loud, but you
Oh.
can mimic the same sound. And it's a little bit hard to make a performance check for me, actually.
Oh.
Your
Do I
modifier
have
is
a
going to be a
modifier?
-1 on this, actually.
Okay. -1.
So d20 -1. You can make the same sound, but it's much quieter than the other night. And as you swoop in, you grab up one of the pigs inside your talons and start flying off with it. It's heavy, but you're able to handle it.
I'm gonna go fly back to the group.
Start flying back to the group. You get there in a matter of minutes. You've probably been gone a total of maybe 10 minutes at this point.
10 minutes? Oh shit.
You swoop in. You look, and the rest of you look over and see this giant bird land next to you with a pig in its grasp.
And I'm gonna kill the pig right
mate,
here.
now that's how you forge.
I'm breaking the pig's neck right here in front of everybody.
All right, just drops it. It drops to the ground dead in front of you.
And then I want to spend a little bit of time flying towards the north.
Okay. As you start flying north, it takes you maybe like a minute or two just to get over to where you guys had to the split in the road.
Okay.
From before.
What do I see on the plains if I fly up maybe 100 feet?
Fly up 100 feet. It gets you enough view that you can just barely make out on the distance some lights over in Barrelford to your northwest. Looking straight to the north, it's some plains. Kind of to the northeast, you can see the rolling hills. To the southeast, you see more rolling hills. To the southwest, some more plains.
Do I see any notable landmarks?
You do see the river off to your west, the Milk Dew River, that currently cuts right through Barrelford and kind of winds from Barrelford. It goes south a couple miles and then kind of curves to the southwest out of sight. Hard to see much more in this light.
Okay.
that's really the only notable landmarks you can see as it's starting to get dark. Pretty dark.
Okay.
Flying anywhere else?
I'm just gonna fly back towards the group and just kind of fly around the trees until I feel the potions start wearing off, and then land.
Okay. Yeah, you're paying a little more attention this time. You start feeling the familiar sensation tingling in your wingtips after about an hour of flying total.
I missed the
and
name of the river.
the milk dew.
Did Icky leave his pack like on the ground? Yeah.
Amazingly, no. The pack seemed to have transformed into the bird with him.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
As you're flying, you start feeling it tingle. Are you landing or just kind of dropping down, or what's?
I'll land.
Okay. At this point, camp has been made. Did you guys make a fire?
Yeah.
Okay.
We got a pig. We got to roast it somehow.
There's a fire going. You guys are roasting the pig. It makes enough for your meal tonight, plus an additional, I'll say, 5 rations each. Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's a big food.
So an additional plus a ration we're consuming?
So it's worth a total of 6 rations each.
Okay, so we're getting 5 extra and we're not consuming one.
Correct.
Cool.
Okay, and that's after going through the process of smoking it and drying it,
Joel,
basically turning it into pig jerky. Yeah, what's up?
technically for me it's 4 because of Nova, right?
Correct.
You gain 5 rations. Oh yeah, 4.
So correct. Nova's a hungry wolf. All right. As you guys bed down for the night, are you keeping watches again, sir?
I'll keep watch first.
So we got Zia first. Second,
Sure.
Amelia third,
Sure.
Icki fourth is Zod.
Zod, yeah.
Alrighty. Here at the just inside the white grove of these trees, first watch will be Zia. Go ahead and make a perception check for me. Just a normal one because it's disadvantage because of the exhaustion, advantage because of Nova. Okay, let me pull this up. Here in the early night hours, still a little bit bewildered by the fact that Icky Bread just turned into a giant bird for a little while. But as the others are sitting down, you and Nova keep a very careful watch over this grove, over this campsite. You keep the fire stoked and keep poking at it. You're keeping watch, and you notice there's not a lot of sound compared to other places you've camped before. It's almost deathly quiet here in this forest. It's a bit eerie. Make up a wisdom saving throw for me.
Wisdom saving.
With advantage, because Nova's with you.
Ouch.
Okay, that's good enough. It's kind of creepy in here, but you're fine. Next up is going to be Amelia. Make a perception check for me. Okay. You're keeping watch here in this forest through the middle of... What's that? Through the middle of the night, cleaning up your... working on cleaning the necklace or the symbol first?
Let's do my lucky charms and my necklace.
Okay, so you're able to start Lucky Charm off. You're able to get it pretty good through your watch, as it's also eerily quiet. Roll a wisdom saving throw for me.
It's a saving throw, so that is regular. Seriously?
Oh,
While
This
you're
is how
keeping
Amelia
watch-
dies, not through the dragon.
while you're keeping watch, cleaning off your lucky token? Charm? Lucky charm. You get this chill up your spine.
Oh, it's actually Lucky Charm.
And you feel like something is directly behind you.
Oh,
watching
I totally look.
As you immediately whip around and look, you don't see anything there.
Huh.
And now it feels like there's something else watching you behind and to your right now.
Look there too.
And it feels like there's something else watching you.
We'll just play Ring Around the Rosie then.
And as you're starting to spin in circles, you can't contain it anymore, and you immediately grow fearful, and you start running down the path out of the forest.
North or south?
North. Without saying a word, or just you're frightened, you just keep running. This goes on for maybe an hour or so, and then you finally come across not an hour, about 45 minutes or so. Oh wait, it'd be faster because you're running. 25 minutes. After about 25 minutes or so, you come across the split in the road from before, and you finally catch your breath and realize that, like, your watch is probably about over now, and the others are you're nowhere near the camp. And you don't know what it was in that forest, but it was frightening.
And this is the split that goes to the forest and southeast, or the one that
Correct.
went? Okay.
Correct. So it would be probably about a 45-minute walk to get back to the campsite.
Is there anything anywhere looks like I could just kind of hide to sleep?
There's some bushes around. Yeah, you could find some bushes off to the side of the path.
Amelia just does not have luck, does she? Bucket, I guess we'll do the 45-minute walk.
All right. As you walk back to the campsite, you actually make better time than you thought. But you currently, well, we'll switch. As you're walking back, we'll switch over to Icki.
My turn.
Icki, you wake up, and Amelia is gone. Is the first thing you notice.
Oh, what if I rolled a natural one as well?
You notice Amelia's gone. Roll a perception check for me, but
pretty much the DC is anything above critical fail.
Oh, it's
you
close.
notice Amelia's gone. It's kind of upsetting you a little bit because you didn't even hear her leave. Didn't cause a commotion or anything. She didn't let you guys know. She's just gone.
I'm gonna start waking people up.
Yeah. Zod and Zia, two of you get woken up by Icki. They're prodding you awake.
What is it?
I point over to where Amelia was sleeping. God damn it!
I guess I'll sleep, Icki.
Dumbass! And I try to point to where Icki, or not Icki, Amelia was sleeping.
Are you calling my character?
No, whoever just told me to just get some sleep.
Z and Zod, the two of you now see Icki pointing at Amelia's spot. She's gone.
Oh, right. Well, I guess we gotta find Amelia. Where did she run off to?
And as this is happening, I'm just like, oh, I'm very tired and groggy. I started to go back to sleep. Maybe she got eaten by wolves.
Hey.
Yeah.
Nova.
Who was feeding bacon to Nova? I think she's got a taste for blood now.
Nova, track.
Okay. Make a survival check for Nova. So that would be the wisdom
Wait,
check.
what?
Make a survival check for Nova, which would be a wisdom check on Nova's character sheet.
Oh, Nova's character sheet. Okay.
It is.
And I'd say make it with advantage because you're helping. Okay. With that, Nova immediately starts sniffing the ground and just kind of looks at you and points her nose towards the north path along the north.
I'm right behind you, Nova.
All right. As you start heading out, walking back that direction out into the plains. Is anybody else going with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Icky's going with. Zod, are you going?
Yes, but I'm still kind of like falling back asleep, so I might be like in a foot behind.
Okay.
Or
So
like,
you're just kind of wandering behind them as you head out. After a couple minutes, you guys see actually Amelia walking back towards you guys along the path. After a few minutes, you meet up.
Dumbass! I point at Amelia.
When I see her, I'm like, that's a long way to travel to go to the bathroom.
I need my privacy. What can I say?
I walk up to Amelia. Does that happen often?
Going so far for the bathroom or wandering on?
Who knows?
Obviously not you. Shall we just return back to camp? Finish our sleep?
Let's go.
I'd spin around on my heel and just mutter under my breath, dumbass.
All right. The four of you and Nova managed to make your way back to the campsite. And as you get back to the campsite, Nova stops right before you get to the campsite.
What is it?
And he looks up into one of the trees. And you see this shadowy creature outstretch these wings and start charging towards you. I need everybody to roll initiative.
A shadowy creature with what kind of
seven.
wings?
I can't quite see yet.
Oh, I thought you were describing. It broke up when you said shadowy
Oh.
creature, and then you
You
said
see a
something
shadowy
about wings.
creature with wings
that-
outstretch
hey.
its feathered wings and start charging towards you.
It's fucking contagious.
That's fantastic right there.
My
Give me a second.
turn.
Oh,
Oh my god, guys.
It's contagious.
I'm fine. You guys are all a dumbass.
Give me a second here.
We all rolled the same number. It got different.
Hey, Matt.
I'm gonna die.
I've set this up. I didn't expect this to happen.
Matt.
Three.
What?
Does that happen often?
The fact that I've rolled what? Three natural ones tonight?
I would think that's your fourth. That's your fourth. You had two before the wisdom one.
Oh yeah. You know what that means is someone had to take it. Do you feel better now about your life, Eric?
Yes.
There you go. I'm glad I could help.
I've had one natural one, but I've also had one natural 20.
Give me a moment.
Four natural ones later, Amelia's gonna die.
We're all gonna die.
Sure.
Actually, maybe not all of us.
It's Fog of War is on. No, not advanced. Normal Fog of War is on. Nope.
Wow.
Dynamic lighting is on. That's the one I wanted. Okay, we got that. Gotta pull the monster out. Where's it at?
Is it also a baby rock? That'd be cool. It's feathered. We need to kill it, guys.
Oh, thank goodness, it's just ability checks. This is
Where the crap is this
okay.
thing? Why can't I find it? Okay, there it is. And it's gonna roll that.
Well, it's probably higher than 3 of us.
It certainly is.
Is it higher than 4 of us?
I'm not saying
We'll
yet.
find out real soon, actually. Whether it attacks me first or I get to attack it.
Yep.
All right. First up, as this is swooping down towards you, Ikibra, you are currently surprised and don't have an action this turn. You see in front of you, if this cursor will move. A sec, it's going to take a second because I got to scroll, then move it, then scroll some more, then move it some more. Scroll some more, move it more, ignore that.
Look, I can't.
There.
You got a lot of maps.
I got a lot of maps. Like a lot of maps.
Man,
You
it's
see this creature in front of you. It has many features like a vulture, but it's got these long, instead of just wings, it's got these forearms in addition to its wings with these long, slender claws at the end of them and a bit of a tail. It almost looks like a vulture was crossed with some sort of primate. This creature looks quite terrifying as it lunges out towards you. And it is going to swoop towards Zia. And give me 1 second. There it is. It is going to let out a puff of these almost spores that shoot out in this kind of yellowish cloud. I need Nova, Zia, and Ikibra and Amelia to each make Constitution saving throws.
Can be worse than I've been rolling.
God damn it.
That's probably not high enough.
But it can be tied.
Jeez, Matt.
Okay.
He knows that.
Oh crap, Matt.
I'm gonna die.
Okay, wow.
Kill my character, kill my character,
Ouch,
kill my character.
that's rough.
My character dies.
Seriously, again?
Like I said, I couldn't do worse. However, I could tie.
All right, as you guys feel this pollen just start poofing out these kind of toxic spores, each of you takes 5 points of poison damage.
And I?
And Amelia, you watch as like your body starts to shake, and you watch this. I need you to make one more Constitution saving throw for me.
Why do I bother some days?
Who all takes damage?
Finally, something about
that would be Amelia, Ikibra, Nova, and Zia all take 5 points of poison. Yeah,
Okay.
You guys already did that. Should have already done that.
Well, Zia hasn't yet.
Okay, Amelia, your arms start shaking as you look as your skin like starts to be crusty, and you immediately just like start flexing every muscle in your body and shake it off. And with that, the rest of you are all still surprised. It comes back around. It is Ikibra's turn now.
How big is this thing?
This creature has a wingspan of maybe 15 feet or so. It's currently flapping its wings about 5 feet up in the air, and is, I'd say its body from like head to the end of tail is probably about 5 to 6 feet.
Where is? Oh, why does
Shoot,
it
I gotta-
do that? It
Just a
opened
second
up
here.
the wrong way. What is that? This is also that. Okay, and this is also that. Okay, Kevin probably has more health than me. I'm gonna back up towards Zod and then cast Magic Missile at level 3 at it.
Okay.
So that's 5. Right? Oh. 4. It's 4.
It's gonna be 3, 4,
I don't
5.
have level 3. I don't have level 3. Never mind. Level 2.
Okay. At level 2, that'll be 4 of them.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, as you shoot these 4 missiles out, they kind of shoot out from your hand, anime style, and walk in on this thing, hitting it for 15 points of force damage. And you watch as it goes, and it is now going to. I gotta look at its stuff because it's got stuff that. Okay. At this point, it is just going to fly this way over top of Zia and Nova, and it's going to let out this deafening screech. And I need everybody to make a Constitution saving throw,
I'm good at that.
including Nova.
Okay.
Nova's good.
Okay. As the creature is flying past you guys, Zia, the screech has kind of rattled your insides, and you feel you're a little bit stunned right now, and you find it difficult to get moving on anything. As it moves away, Nova and Amelia can both get an attack of opportunity if they'd like.
Oh, so I can try to punch it, huh?
And I'm trying to bite it. Or no,
Okay.
try to bite it.
Go ahead and make your attack rolls.
Oh my god. Phil, something's wrong with Matt.
Stop. As you reach out to punch this thing, the lucky charm that was in your hand, you had been cleaning kind of on your way back, flies out of your hand, and in this darkness, it's kind of hard to see where it went.
Obviously, it's not a lucky charm anymore.
Nova, that did hit. Go ahead and roll your damage. As Nova bites onto its leg as it's flying away, dealing 10 points of piercing damage. Kind of lets out a.
Can you do a strength save?
No, not this time. Well, hold on. Yeah, it would actually. You're right. Which it does not succeed as Nova kind of grabs onto its leg and slams it down onto the ground. It's going to take an additional. Nope, not 10. Just kidding. Wrong dice.
Like a 1d4, right?
D6 is what I needed. It takes 1 point of bludgeoning damage in addition to the from slamming onto the ground. What's that?
I like the other number better.
Finally, something else is wrong.
But do you want your party rolling ones, Matt? All right. Next up here is going to be this creature. Coming out of the darkness, swooping in is this vulture, which is going to come in and make an attack with its beak against Zia with advantage because you're currently stunned. That is just barely going to hit you for 4 points of piercing damage.
That 13 hits him?
It does.
Damn, Kevin.
Yeah, his dex.
That seems low. Why is it that low?
Because he has like a.
Oh, yeah, actually,
Is he
no,
using light
that's
armor?
right. He is, and his dex is okay.
Damn, Kevin.
Like 11 plus dex, and his dex is like 2.
And after it comes and pecks at you, it flies back up into this tree here and perches on the branch. You do not get an attack of opportunity because you're currently stunned. Next up is Zod.
All right. This is the big bird.
Yeah, as you watch as Nova, like a badass, jumped up and grabbed onto this thing's leg and slammed it down onto the ground. It is currently prone.
All right, so let's see. I'm gonna throw a javelin at it, and if it hits, I'm gonna cast hail of thorns.
Okay, so you cast Hail of Thorns now, and you throw your javelin. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
Damn it!
That does not hit, and it's with disadvantage because it is currently prone, and you're making a ranged attack. You throw your javelin at it, and just shoots right past. Anything else you're doing? So that's your bonus action and your action. You still have a move if you'd like.
I'm not moving closer to this thing.
Okay. Next up is going to be Zia. Zia, you're currently stunned and can't quite move. Nova, on the other hand, can act on her own.
His, by the way.
You can't control her currently because you're stunned. However, Nova is currently going to just latch onto this thing and attempt to bite one more time.
Okay.
Doing as the dog do, and is going to hit once more for 10 more points of piercing damage. Holy crap.
You gave him a wolf with a +6 modifier.
It's really good.
That's what it's supposed to be.
That's pretty good.
It is.
Better than all of us.
Well, not a high bar on my end.
Natural one. Amelia, you're up.
Speaking of,
Alright, so this thing is on the ground, right?
It is. It's currently prone.
I am going to use Tempest magic to get above it, even higher, so that I can start casting Witch Bolt.
Okay. I'll say that your elevation on it and it's being prone cancel out, because it's being prone would make ranged spells with disadvantage, but your elevation gives you advantage. They cancel out, so it'll be a normal attack roll for it, or a normal magic ranged attack.
All right, so I'm going to do at level 2. Yeah.
Nice.
That will hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Let's see. Gotta make sure this. I gotta make sure. I don't know if. Okay, good. It does give me when I. Okay, level 2 Witch Bolt.
Oof. It still actually does a fair amount of damage as he watches this bolt of lightning arcs out from Amelia as she raises 10 feet up in the air, and it just zaps this thing for 9 points of lightning damage. And actually, it zaps it for 5 points of lightning damage.
Nice. Wait, but I'm wondering if it's resistant.
yeah.
I wasn't paying attention to the damage output.
Yeah, that would be.
It is You get the sense that it hurt it, but not that bad.
Should have been 9.
It is now,
was only 5. Anyways,
it's Icky's turn.
We don't have any actual Novas over there. I'm gonna cast Mage Armor on myself.
Okay.
That's
that
an
is
action.
an action or a bonus tag? That's an action. Okay.
And then I'm going to move closer to Zod. And I don't think this was a bonus action spell. This one is.
You can't cast 2 spells on the same turn either way.
Even if one's a bonus action and one's an action?
Correct. And until you have there's certain features that can give you that, but otherwise you cannot.
Okay, it's just an action anyways, but okay, I move over there. I cast a Mage Armor on myself, which should increase me to 15, I think.
This creature stands back up, and it is going to
13 plus 15.
It's pissed off at this wolf right now, and is going to attack the wolf first with its beak, which is going to deal 6 points of piercing damage to Nova. And then it's going to attack once more with, this time it's going to attack with its talons, which will barely hit, dealing 14 points of slashing damage. And Nova is now unconscious as Nova is on the ground, bleeding out.
Nova doesn't have that much health. Wow. Yeah.
Next up is its little friend, which is going to run up to Zia and make another attack against you, Zia, with its beak. Also dealing 3 points of damage as it flies away and lands on top of this tree, probably only about 10 feet up. Next up is...
So I'm guessing the vulture
Zod.
has a feature that lets it fly away without attack of opportunity?
Zia is still stunned currently.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. But as... Oh, wait, no, you wouldn't be because the rock just took its turn. So, yeah, as it's flying away, Zia, you get an attack of opportunity against it if you'd like.
Cool. I'm gonna take it.
Okay. Either melee or... It would have to be a melee attack, yeah.
Curiosity, that potion that we got last time, I still have it.
Which potion was it?
The Celia potion?
The healing.
The healing?
Healing potion? Yeah, you can still use it. But you can, for right now, you can make an attack of opportunity against the vulture.
Okay.
As you swing at it with your short sword, that is going to hit. Go ahead and deal your damage. You hear that as it just gets poofed right out of the side as you lop one of its wings off and cut into its stomach. It falls to the ground. Zod, you are up next.
All right. How is this creature looking?
This still looks like it's pretty good. It's fighting. It seems to be a little bit caught off guard by this wolf, but after a swift revenge, so to say, it's still looking okay.
And it's no longer prone.
It's no longer prone. It currently is standing on the ground.
All right. I'm gonna shoot an arrow at it, and
All right.
And I'm gonna cast. Can I still use Hail of Thorns since it didn't hit?
You can. So you cast it. You still have concentration on it. So the next thing you hit, within the next a little bit less than a minute now.
Okay.
That'll miss as you shoot right past it. Doing anything else?
Let's see. Can I do anything else?
I don't know. Can you? Do you have a bonus action, a movement?
What would I use as a bonus action? I probably don't. I don't think I have any. So we'll just move on for now.
Okay. Next up is Zia.
Alright, we use that healing potion of Nova.
Okay. Go ahead, roll 2d4 plus 2.
Okay.
Nope, that's weird. I don't know why it's doing that, but cool, whatever. Almost. Make sure you do /R space and then type it in.
2d4?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what you wrote. You just
2d4 plus 2. So you end up healing Nova for 4 points of healing. Nova's currently prone on the ground.
Oh, so you can't attack any.
Nova can attack. This turn, no, actually. Because you used your action. Yeah, you used your action to try to heal Nova. And actually, as you're currently feeding this potion to Nova, the creature will get an attack of opportunity against you, which will hit you for 8 points of piercing damage. As you start feeding this potion, and it takes the opportunity to catch you off guard. Amelia, you're up next.
all right. Well, we're gonna stop the witch bolt. If I use twin spells, can I target it twice, or does it have to be a second?
Twin spells, I believe, has to be two different creatures. What does it
Yeah.
say?
Yeah, it does. Just sounded
Yeah.
like it was possible to attack the same creature once, but nah, it's his second. So I went.
A second creature. Yeah.
Well, it's resistant to electricity. Let's maintain my height with Tempest Magic and use Ray of Frost on
Okay. As you shoot at this ray of frost, go ahead and make your attack roll.
it. With a regular attack, or advantage with my Tempest.
I'd say with the height, it's actually going to be with advantage. Yeah. All right, as you just going to make contact, and it's going to deal 4 points of cold damage as it strikes into this thing, and you hear this ghastly.
Yeah, there's not a lot to attack.
Next up is Icki.
I'm gonna cast a regular magic missile at it, level 1. Yeah, level 1.
Okay.
3 hits.
As you fire out 3 more of the magic missiles, end up pegging it for an additional 12 points of force damage. It's actually starting to look pretty rough now.
That's
It
an
looks
11.
you can 6, 11. You're right. It is.
I'll take 12 if you want to somehow explain that.
It's takes 11 points of force damage as it's now looking pretty rough. You can see some indentations from where the magic missiles have hit. It seems to be shaking off the things that Amelia has been throwing at it. But it is now the creature's turn. And the creature, seeing this wolf get back up, is actually going to kind of come around. Z, you get another attack of opportunity if you'd like.
Me or the wolf?
You do.
So it needs to be in melee, right?
Yeah, correct. That's. Mm-hmm. Oh, roll your damage. All right, as you slice into it, it deals a fair amount of damage. You deal 5 points of piercing damage to this thing, and it definitely kind of hisses at you as it's moving around, and it is going to attempt to grapple Nova. So Nova needs to make either a dexterity saving throw or a strength saving throw. Either. As it attempts to grapple at Nova, Nova kind of ducks out of the way of this thing, and it kind of makes another. It's very angry at Nova.
Yeah.
Next up is going to be Zod.
All right. So I have a marvelous idea. I'm gonna charge this, like, and I'm gonna jump, and as I come down, I'm gonna use my let's go and use like my the wrist.
All right, the hidden blades. All right, go ahead, run up to it, make your attack rolls.
Everything. And then do I do both of them or?
Yeah. All right. The first one, your first strike, as you swing at it, actually just miss off. It claws at the blade and slams it to the ground, and actually jams a little piece of the blade, kind of in the tucked in position. So where you might have to take an action to try to free it loose. With your offhand, you swing around with it, and it claws it out again, just kind of ting as you hear its claw hit the metal, and neither of the attacks hit.
Man, I'm doing nothing to get in counter.
Next up is Zia.
Alright, well, I'm gonna attack it. But now Z. with Nova.
Okay. Is Nova standing up first or staying prone?
Standing. No, wait. What position was he in? Prone?
He's currently prone because he was unconscious when you gave him the potion.
Sorry.
Let's not do that then. All right. All right. Never mind. I'm gonna attack with Zia.
Okay. Make your attack roll. All right. As you shoot with your longbow, sinks into it, into its feathers. Go ahead, roll your damage. And it deals 4 points of piercing damage to this thing. Next up is Amelia.
So it's standing on the ground or trying to fly?
It's currently standing on the ground still, facing its eyes dead set on Nova right now.
How
Stop bullying my wolf.
one sec. That's not the thing I wanted. Alright, that looks like it gave me the advantage I need. How healthy does this thing look?
Not great. It's definitely felt some pain.
We're gonna try it. We're gonna use Kari.
Oh boy.
Wait, how far did you go?
Should have been 30.
Yeah, I guess if you cut the corner, sure. I'll allow it.
I've been getting a lot of natural ones.
I'll allow it. All right, go ahead and make your attack roll.
With advantage,
As
right?
you pull out this demon blade eye opening up, you hear that, oh, yes, it's time. It's time, and it is with advantage, yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna draw blood! And you watch as this demonic blade just swings out in full bloodthirst towards what appears to be another demon, actually. Slicing into it for 8 points of slashing damage.
Dead yet?
Probably not.
And you hear this, oh, it feels so good. It feels so good. From Amelia's demon blade.
Not the thing that's being stabbed. Just to clarify, it's the weapon that's killing.
Yes, it is the weapon that is shouting this out. Next up is Icki.
And this is how demons make.
Another magic missile, level 1.
All right.
1.
3 more of these magic missiles shoot out at this creature and slam into it, dealing 10 points of force damage. And it's starting to look pretty rough at this point. That last blow of the magic missile, the last barrage of magic missile, is currently just poofing multiple feathers out of its wings. Realizing it's currently surrounded and outnumbered and not doing well, it is going to try to attempt to flee now. It's going to take the disengage action and start flying upwards into the air. It flies up about 15 feet and over about 15 feet. Zod, as you watch as this creature dodges out of your guys' way to try to get away and starts flapping upwards into the sky.
Do I get an attack of opportunity as it's going
No,
away?
it
You do not.
disengaged.
It used the disengage action, so you do not.
All right. I'm gonna fire another arrow.
All right, make your attack roll.
And Hail of Thorns is gone, correct?
It is not. You still have Hail of Thorns.
All right. Come on, hit.
That's a
Thank
hit.
you.
As you shoot into it, you watch as all these thorns shoot out of it. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Ooh.
It's a
That
good
ain't
way.
bad. As it deals 6 points of piercing damage, plus go ahead and roll your
Max
Hail of
damage.
Thorns damage.
How do I do that?
How much damage does it do?
Like a
It
1d4,
does.
I think.
Additional attack.
Or
Target
2d4.
attack. And each creature takes 1d10.
Ah,
Oh, it makes a dex saving throw.
It's half if it succeeds.
Correct. So go ahead, roll a d10, and it will make a dex saving throw.
Oh.
It succeeds.
It succeeds its saving throw, and you watch as these thorns. It seems a little bit ineffective somehow, up in the air, where it's out of the reach of the thorns that you imagined coming from the ground, and it will deal 1 point of piercing damage. Is it piercing? I believe it is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And the thorns come from the sky.
What was that, Robert?
That's still better than I have been doing during this encounter.
It is. You did a solid 7 points of damage there. Every bit counts.
I turn to the rest of the group and with total pride be like, "Yeah, got him first try."
And with that, it is now Zia's turn.
All right. Well, since in the air, Nova's in. Unless I walk and fly.
What, can't shoot it?
Shoot it.
All right. As you shoot your bow at it, it misses just wide. As it kind of roll out of the way. Amelia, it is your turn.
Fucking coward!
Wow.
Okay. That is a powerful firebolt. What? Oh, that's the attack roll, not the damage. Okay, that makes more. I was like, no way, it does that much damage. Okay, roll your damage. All right, as you fire this powerful firebolt towards it, knocks into the back of its wings, dealing 4 points of fire damage. It looks like it's trying to shake it off, but it's still not looking well. Icki, you're up.
I'm gonna cast level 2 magic missile.
Okay.
Should be 4. That wasn't great.
4, 8, 11. 4 more of these little missiles shoot out and smack into the back of its legs, and it is not feeling real good at all. It looks like it's on death's door at this point. It is now its turn, and it is going to use its movement and its dash to fly away.
60 feet. Or does it have increased speed when flying?
It flies farther when flying.
Dang.
And it is now Zod's turn.
Oh, that would have been the better. I still can use it.
Yeah.
I was gonna use ensnaring strike. Can I use that? Does that have to? Can I use that? Can
Check
I use
the
that,
range on the spell.
Ruby does no range.
So, ensnaring strike, you use it on yourself, and it takes effect the next time you hit a creature.
Okay.
Okay. In that case, I'm just gonna shoot an arrow.
Nope, that has
You
the
can
range.
use it as a bonus action, though. So
That has the range of your arrow.
Yep.
Basically.
So if you use it as a bonus action and then you hit with your arrow as an action,
It's like
then it
Hail
will
of
take
Thorns.
effect. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like Hail of Thorns, just has a different effect.
Is it also concentration?
It is concentration.
Ah, cool.
All right. Let's try it.
All right. So as you cast Ensnaring Strike on yourself, now what are you doing?
I'm gonna shoot an arrow at it.
Can you see it?
I'm gonna move this.
Oh no, I can't. Unless it. Yeah, no, I cannot see it.
Okay. You can still move first too. Keep in mind.
All right, so I'm gonna move. So I guess I'm gonna move up to here then.
And as you come around the corner, you can see it flapping away to your southwest.
All right. I'm taking the shot.
All right, so it's currently 65 feet. What's the range of your bow?
150 to 600.
Oh, it's a longbow? Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, make your attack roll.
Come on, please hit. Damn it.
It's not quite going to hit as you watch as the arrow trails off into the darkness. Zia, you're up.
God damn it! I can't hit the broadside of a barn in this encounter.
I wonder which arcade type you took.
It looks like it's mostly just bad rolls, unfortunately.
Well, if he chose the archery archetype, he'd have a much higher modifier on his longbow.
All right, Zia, you're up. As you run up, you can also are able to see it flapping off into the distance.
I'm gonna use my longbow at it.
All right, make your attack roll. All right. With your longbow, you watch as it. There's a slight poof of feathers. Doesn't look like you hit anything vital. Amelia, you're up.
I should be able to get up to here. Right up next to Zod. Just to barely see it.
You can't quite see it, but you can hear it flapping.
Mm,
You could make an attack on it. It'd be with disadvantage.
sure, why not? Why the flip not?
As you
Pretty much all I can see is
launch
where
a
it was.
fireball off into the distance, you see it kind of move its beak back and dodge out of the way of this bright orb of fire traversing at it. Icki, you're up.
I'm gonna
So,
move 5,
question:
10.
What is it? So I know the red is a natural 1 and the green is a natural 20. Why? What's the gray?
So Matt and Chris set their thing to toggle advantage or disadvantage. So because it was with disadvantage, and he did the little toggle thing on his character sheet, it grayed out the higher value.
30.
Okay. Fair enough.
Icki, as you're
I don't see it.
treading through the darkness looking for it, you might give me a second here. I
don't see it.
think when you were right here, actually, you get a slight glimmer at it.
Then magic.
Between
Oh,
the
I
tree.
do see it, just faintly. Magic missile. Level 2.
All right.
Add one more to that. I can't roll if you don't do it right.
All right. Roll your 4
One.
attacks.
2,
5,
3. Ooh, this is a good one.
16.
As you watch, how do you want to do this?
I want 8 damage to hit one wing and 8 damage to hit the other wing and try and sever the wings.
All right. As you watch as these 3 magic missiles shoot out from you. And then you remember, oh yeah, there's the 4th one a little bit after. 2 of them pop the right wing off, and it starts to spiral downwards. The other ones hit and pop the other wings off, and it slams down to the ground, dead.
Roleplay mode?
Roleplay mode.
I'm gonna rush over there. Feathers! Bird of prey! Bird of prey! Need to get the feathers! Need to get the feathers!
Would we hear this from our position?
I'm saying it loudly.
You heard this large, and then something crashed to the ground.
And then I see it move.
That's
Zod
start
would have
looking for
seen it. Amelia and Zia, as you two come closer towards it, you're able to see Icki running up to this thing, gleefully. Got the feathers.
Is there anything else that I can salvage off of?
Make an investigation check for me.
What's that?
Need to get feathers. Need to get feathers. Need to get feathers.
I feel better.
Zod, this thing is creeping you the F out and you don't want to touch it.
I want to touch it. I want to get its feathers.
Make an investigation check with advantage because you're so motivated by the feathers.
Investigation check.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what the DC is for that.
All right, give me a second. Basically, the DC is higher than a natural one, just so you know.
Okay.
Icki, as you're plucking these feathers out, you realize that the thing's main body doesn't have feathers. It's just kind of this nasty, matty, grizzly fur. Not like grizzly bear fur, but just this kind of matted, very
So I'm not getting any
unclean
feathers
fur.
from the body, but the wings.
As you move over and find one of the wings that is currently severed off, you find lots of these feathers, and on the one edge of each of the feathers is very sharpened, and like sharp to the touch, almost like a blade, but still quite fragile and flimsy, and light like a feather. And you find hundreds of these, maybe between 2 and 6 inches long. Also, while investigating this creature, you find on it's wearing this seems peculiar. It's wearing this ornate breastplate. And on its back, there's this wooden shield. It doesn't look like a normal wood. It seems much tougher and is kind of this dark grayish brown color. And underneath the shield on the back, you see a pouch with various coins in it.
Grab the pouch.
What you find inside that pouch is 3 platinum pieces, 24 gold pieces, 120 silver pieces, 59 coppers. The shield, as you touch it, it's kind of has a very, very, very soft glow that is clearly magical.
Can I try to sneak the platinum into my pocket?
Make a sleight of hand check. All right, with that roll, let me double check, but I believe you did. That one, yes. You are able to sneak the platinum into your pocket.
And then I'll start divvying up the gold and silver and copper.
Okay.
6 gold pieces.
I'll just let him write it in the chat. Because you never know with counting. With Isaac. Oh, wait. What have I learned?
He happens to be a magnificent counter. He is better with numbers than any others that have been trained with him.
How many feathers would you say I got?
As many as you want. 100.
Up to 100?
For good. Up to 100 good ones.
Okay.
Actually, I'd say roll. You know what? For funsies, roll 2 D100s.
Okay. Can you guys hear that?
That knocking?
Yep.
A little bit.
My neighbors are obnoxious.
114 feathers that are in good enough condition to salvage. Plus, as many as you want that are crappy and bent and broken and bloody and not good.
I'll take the good ones. And this is...
Alright.
Can I tell what kind of creature this is? I mean, it does say the name on the thing.
Yeah, I really do need to fix it. I haven't gone through my monster manual and fixed all that yet, but make a nature check for me. Anybody that thinks they might know what it is, make a nature check.
I'm good.
Give me 1 second.
Obviously, I don't know what it is if I, resist.
1 second. All right. Zod, you are disgusted by this thing. It is not a beast. You know that much. It is gross. Ikibra, you're looking at this thing. You don't know what it is, but you know that it's demonic. And you know that it's evil. And you also know that it could fly. Is the big things that you've noted about it.
I was gonna ask, is it a beast?
It is not a beast. You know that it is not a beast, and you know it is disgusting.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
And
Zara is also disgusting.
okay,
Right.
the three of you get. I'll type it out. Six gold faces. Oh. And you get 30 silver faces. Oops. And you get 15 outer faces.
Oh, by the way, was anybody taking the breastplate or the ironwood shield?
Depends on how much the breastplate is worth. I mean, wait, how much it weighs, sorry.
It weighs. I can probably find it. What were you saying, Zia?
I'll take it.
Okay. The
What kind of armor is
breastplate
it?
weighs 20 pounds.
Fuck that shit.
And it is considered medium armor.
Can I wear it?
Are you proficient in medium armor?
Anybody
you
can
wear
wear
it
any
regardless,
armor. It's just
but
you can no longer
might-
spellcast.
It would give you disadvantage in your attacks if you're not proficient with it.
I am proficient with it.
You are proficient in medium armor? Yeah, you can wear it.
Also, you can't
and-
spellcast if you're not proficient with armor you're wearing.
He is proficient with medium armor, so.
Okay.
Yeah,
we'll let him
you could put it on and try to wear it. It looks like it would need a little fitting, but it's actually set up so it's pretty easy to adjust.
Oh, and then I remember the vulture, and I go running off. Need to get the feathers. Need to get the feathers.
Give me 1 second here, Kevin, and I will add it to your inventory.
Already did.
Already did?
Yeah.
Breastplate.
I need to get rid of a few things now.
Cool. Is it equipped with the thing or whatever? Oh, here. Let me do it the easy way so that we don't have to write the formulas in. Bloop. Now it's in. And now your armor class is updated too.
Look, no. Did anyone take the shield?
Nope.
Then I guess I'll grab that.
All right. As you grab this shield, it functions as a +1 shield. It's made out of ironwood. I can add that to your inventory here.
Shields don't require proficiency, do they?
They do actually.
Just because I have it doesn't mean I need to use.
I know.
I added
I
it
was
to your
just wondering if I would
inventory.
use it.
I would probably unequip it if you're not going to be using it.
How much does it weigh?
6.
6.
Pretty much I'm just going to carry it. 6!
What's your strength
and-
modifier, Matt?
Better than yours. Actually,
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know if that's true.
But his is gonna be better than mine. You remember when I dumped a bunch of stuff back off at Hell?
I do now. Yep, I remember now.
That's because I was
also,
encumbered at that point.
Matt, if you were to sell it, it would be worth 350 gold pieces.
Okay.
Or you could always give it to someone or try to learn how to use it. Whatever. Cool. With that, keep in mind it is now 10:20, and we're supposed to be back by 10:30 or so. So,
Let's start
I'm
heading
gonna
back.
start looking.
Or no, what if we can we save at the town, the village?
I wouldn't say a save. You can press forward to the town and then fast travel back to Independence at the end of the session.
Would that save us gold?
I mean, that would cost you more gold than heading
Then
back
no. Let's head back now then.
now.
I don't know
Okay.
what town that is though.
All right, time to drag you through a whole bunch of maps. Ignore them. I don't know if you can even see stuff on them or not.
You can
but
archive maps.
You're right. I'm just lazy, and that takes time. And there you go. You're on the right one now.
Okay.
All right. So
Huzzah! Nobody died.
it is currently nighttime. With that, between the combat and the bit of wandering off the path, Amelia,
We never finished our long rest.
you guys are very tired at this point. Your camp is currently still made. Doesn't look like whatever this creature was. It doesn't look like it went through your things yet. It probably had just gotten there. You can take a rest. It'll probably take a full 8 hours from this point. Because the last one was not finished. So, same order as before.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, Zia, you're up first with Nova. Go ahead and make a perception check with advantage. Actually, no, normal, because you still have a point of exhaustion.
Perception. There it is. Aha. Damn.
All right. It's pretty tired. Hard to keep a lookout here. Can't quite see anything. It's eerily quiet once more. Amelia, you're up next.
Yay! Let's see, this is going to be with disadvantage. If I recall right.
It will be with disadvantage because you currently have a point of exhaustion.
Really?
Okay.
Again?
While on your watch,
That's gonna get me killed.
you actually end up falling asleep.
I'm still going to roll the 2 torches just for weight issues.
Fortunately for you, nothing comes along that you know of.
Why?
And at the next watch, Icki is up.
Yep. Wow.
All right. Icki, you're very, very focused during your watch. Very focused on all the feathers you just got.
And I keep eyeing that vulture.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm
were you
going. I'm eyeing that vulture and thinking, yeah, I'm gonna go check the vulture.
roll 3d20.
3d20. Whoops. Whoops. Oh my god, I keep typing so well tonight. 33d20. Ah!
As you are spending most of your watch plucking and trying to get the best feathers, you manage to find 32 that you think will fit your purposes. And the rest of your watch goes without a hitch. As the sun is starting to rise, it is now Zod's turn on watch, as the sun has now risen. It's still pretty dim here in the forest, dim light. Go ahead and make your roll. Perception check. Okay. With that roll, you keep a pretty close watch. It's getting easier and easier as the watch goes on, as it gets brighter and brighter. Eventually, all of you have completed a long rest. Zia and Amelia both lose your points of exhaustion. You're no longer exhausted. Yeah. And you find yourselves here at the camp, just inside the tree line, here in the White Grove, in the White Woods.
What did I miss? Okay.
You're back. You're not exhausted anymore. Long rest complete. It is currently mid-morning.
Cool. Health, not exhausted, spells. And what are we doing?
are you
Backtracking
doing?
or? Is that what we're doing?
That's the last I heard anyone say. Is that still the plan? All right. So who's leading the way back? Who's keeping watch?
Zod's in front.
Give me a second.
God
to
can lead
switch
us
over
back.
here.
He knows how to get back.
I'll keep
Okay.
watch.
Yeah.
Zod, as you guys are leaving the camp, you see some tracks of another bear. This time, you also appears it's being followed by a number of bare-footed humans or elves or something else with that sort of foot structure. A humanoid foot. Currently following bears. The tracks of at least 4, maybe 5 individuals and a bear. The tracks appear to be headed to the west.
Sounds like they're doing the bare minimum.
Wow.
That's a pun. That's actually.
All right.
Um,
As you head out, who's leading the way?
Zod.
God knows how
Who's
to
keeping
get
watch?
I am.
Did I ask
Icki.
this already?
Yeah, you did. And I
My bad.
answered.
back. The usual, it sounds like.
All right.
Perception.
Yep. So Zod, make a survival check.
Automatically succeeds.
Automatic succeeds. You're right. You guys travel onwards. The first hour takes you back to the first 45 minutes takes you back to that intersection, and then from there it's another about 2.5 hours back to Barrelford. Is that right? How far
Took
is
us
that?
a day to get there.
Just kidding.
Half a day.
I did bad math. It didn't take you a day. It took you about 6 hours of travel
Oh, okay.
total. And so total back is about 6 hours or so to Barrelford. You gonna keep heading on the road tonight or stay in Barrelford?
Keep going.
Okay. So as you guys push on for another 2 hours or so, you get to basically that formation of the 3 rocks right as it's starting to get dark. You taking camp, keep going. You guys have been traveling for about 8 hours at this point.
Keep going. Do I notice that same storm from before at all?
That was, what, 2 days?
You do not currently notice a storm on the horizon.
Do you or don't?
You do not.
Eli, keep going.
All right. As you can press on, make a Constitution saving throw. Everybody.
More
'Cause
chances
I'm
for
good at
more
this.
natural ones. Ready, set.
Oh, good. Finally, a 2.
You got a 2.
Okay. As you guys are going along, both Amelia and Zod start becoming exhausted after another hour of travel.
Let's make
Um,
camp.
As you guys set up camp, it's 10:30. We're gonna go ahead and fast travel back from there.